Hey, this is Clint, Coach Clint with Clint Speaks, and we're back in the building. Y'all, I am excited because we got the panel back. We got the panel. And if for those that don't know, we've got Mr. Robert Johnson with us tonight. Y'all know we're excited, y'all. We're excited. We got Jazz and Jazz on here. We've got Rochelle on here. We've got Dale Warren. Hey, Mike Love is coming. So, y'all, it's going to be a great night, y'all. I promise y'all it's not going to be boring. For those that forgive me for that. I got to make sure that y'all can hear me. Um, how's everybody been, y'all? Dale Warren, Jasmine, everybody, how y'all been?
Been really
And good
good.
money.
Yeah, we've
Awesome.
been good. We've been good.
That's what I'm talking about. Y'all, we making history, y'all, right now. But listen, oh, we got Mike Love coming in. Mike Love, we live, y'all. We are live, and we got everybody on. We got the panel. So, y'all, listen, this is going to be fun. If you have children watching, it's going to be educating. We might say something so we call stuff like that revival. It's just reviving you. We going to say some stuff. And listen, what we're going to do, and I want the audience to join in. We're live on YouTube, Twitch TV, Clint Speaks, Jasmine, Dale Warren, Mike Love, Robert Johnson, Shell Nolan. We're live, y'all. We are live. And listen, this is my family right here. So, y'all, what we're gonna do tonight, each and every one of us, we gonna bring out somebody that we have respected. Every time when you hear Black history, somebody stands out to each and every one of us. It may not be who you think. And even when you comment in the comments and say, hey, this is who stands out to me, it could be your mother, your father. It could be Malcolm X. It could be Marcus Garvey. It could be whomever, the next door neighbor. It could be whoever had an impact, and just the first thing that comes to mind. So, what I like to do, first off, if you don't mind, I like for the panel to do this. I am one that love to push other people's business. So if y'all don't mind starting with Jasmine or Shell, we will start with the ladies first. Let us know who you are. Let us know what business you're in. And please, ma'ams, please, sirs, put your businesses for the ones that's on the panel. Put your business in the comments. But Jasmine, let them know who you are, Jasmine.
Okay, can y'all hear me?
Oh yeah, real good. We good.
Okay, so I am the owner and CEO of Parbella, which is where we make handmade statement jewelry for women, lightweight. We make handmade custom pieces for males as well. We're going to eventually be venturing off doing doing clutch purses and other little things that we're going to be trying to bring to the beauty industry. My husband and I also have a podcast called Coffee and Wine where we speak about Black love, and just love in general, togetherness, blended family issues, blended family togetherness. And I also have something called I Got You Sis, which is what I hold for women that are wives, women seeking to be wives, and wives that are newly divorced. We come together for 10 days to pray. And then on that 10th day, we do a retreat. So I did my first one last year, and I'm about to get my other one started. So, yeah, that's pretty much me.
Cool. Love it. Love it. Y'all get their Parbilla, y'all. I'm telling you. And tune into their podcast. What's up, Shell Nolan? Tell us who you are if they don't know you.
Hello, I am Rochelle Nolan. Many people may know me as Rachel. So, either or, that's not going to be a topic of the subjects tonight. Either or. Um, I am the owner of Hermosa Sisters Vending. It is an umbrella of business management. I manage a couple local comedians in the city. I'm also a writer and director for small stage plays. I am one of the radio personalities of Power 99, The Mix. And um, I do a plethora of things, but that's the bulk of me. And my radio show is stemmed around Black fathers and mental health.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Mike Love, you popped in just in time, man. Tell them who you are, man, and what you do, man.
Uh, I'm a worker, entrepreneur, and a movie star.
There you
Um,
go. There you go.
but I
Just
do
don't forget
sell
us, man.
cars to people that can't get what they want, you know, so I let them pay me what they can afford to pay me. I got like 75 people making a car payment. It started at $100 a month to
Wow.
about $350, you know.
Wow.
But let me say, if you know you can't afford a Camaro, please don't call me asking me to get you a Camaro, because you know you can't afford that. My job is hard to convince somebody to get what they can afford.
Gotcha.
'Cause I buy my cars myself, and people had the audacity to call me and ask to buy a Camaro, knowing they want to pay me $100 a month. That just don't work. So if you're gonna be serious and call me, then cool. And I done got so good at it, I know who gonna do what they say they gonna do and who not, who just talking. So
Awesome.
that's me. That's what I do.
Awesome. Hey, Amy, how y'all doing? Hey, De'Ara, hey, baby. Oh, we got Dale One Coleman. Dale One, for those that don't know you, man, tell them who you are and what you do, man.
Hey, I'm Doug Warren Coleman. I'm the founder of a couple of companies, several. Coleman and Neil, the couture line. I want y'all to start when I'm waiting, but it's a, people still order person stuff though. It's a couture line. Just check it out. I mean, hit it up. And Green Thumbs, that's been working me today. That's a lawn service. And I had created the company for felons, but you know, I mean, and it works out. I've been teaming up with people and everything, and they love to throw on the Green Thumb. They get the Green Thumb hoodies to wear. They love it. Wedding Heaven is my wedding company. That was my cash cow, my first cash cow. So just closing another deal for a wedding. I love doing weddings. And if you need anything, wedding services, if you need, even if you've been married before, I created this thing called Mobile Weddings, where we'll come out and redecorate your backyard or your house or your front yard.
Wow.
You can see that on the page. Yep. And what else? Movie Go for indie film makers. And directors, costume designers, whatever you're looking for, you can just look it up on the site, moviego.app. If you're looking to promote yourself or you're looking to find gigs or you find out looking for plays or whatever, you can go there if you're looking for jobs or whatever. And I'm working on a movie right now. I ain't even pulled it out. Y'all the first people to hear it. It's called Blackface, White Mask. And I might put the post up tonight. I don't know. And
Okay.
that's pretty much it. I'll stop right there.
Well, you good. I appreciate it. Mr.
Yeah.
Johnson, Robert Johnson, for those who don't know you, man, tell them who you are and what you do.
I'm Rob Johnson, owner of the Zero Nair. The Zero Nair is a socio-cognitive economic model that is designed to give competition to the capitalistic society. It's a plethora of books that are coming out on that topic that I'm working on now. The Zero Nair, as a construction company, I do commercial and residential. So we're just finishing up a school, and we're now working on a church, 100,000 square foot church, and a 35,000 square foot church. And we're about to break ground on 18 homes in Wayne, Michigan. We're partnered with Habitat for Humanity, where I'm the master builder with them.
Wow.
And we're looking in Virginia for some of our partners in Virginia Beach to break ground on fourplexes for our sailors in that area. So if you know anybody who owns land, I'm looking diligently in that area. I'm licensed in 7 states, DC, Maryland, Virginia, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, and Indiana. And I'm a public speaker, and I'm also a pastor, and I do mission trips to Africa. And so Nigeria, Kenya, Ghana, Nairobi. It looks like 2025 we'll be going to Liberia, so
Wow.
which is a country that was settled by Americans, so the Garveyites. So we'll be headed there more than likely this time next year, this exact time next year. So that's kind of what I do. I'm a naturopathic healer, and so I've been working with people that I know only, family members and people that I know, and to help them heal themselves of curable diseases, etc. So that's kind of what I do.
Gotcha. For those that don't know me, my name is Clinton White. This is what I do as far as podcasting and speaking. Speaking is my passion. People have told me, and it's no brag. I thank God. I give him the glory. That man, you one of the few people that you can just we say, hey, get up there and say something, and I can speak for an hour. It's just I don't know where that came from. Well, I didn't know, but this is my passion, y'all. This is one of the places I want to make a mark, but I don't want to get ahead of myself, but this is what I do. For the people that are on the panel, I love for them to put themselves out there. If I can't put $1 towards your business right now, I'm not saying I can't, but this is at least giving people exposure. This is what I want to do. I love to see people grow. I love to hear testimonies of people saying, hey man, I got more business from people seeing me on Clint Speaks. That's what I do. That's one of the main reasons why I have people on. But either way, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'm looking at these beautiful ladies, these handsome men. I want them to speak. Hey, they got some stuff that I want to hear, man. So this is Black History Month. Some people say, hey, I'm black all year round. Listen, but they give us the shortest month of the year. But regardless, we go do it like they did back in the slave days. They can throw us chitlins. We go make some. We go throw some hot sauce on it. So listen, we go make the best of this thing. In other words, so I want to hear from the ladies and gentlemen tonight. Just tell me, hey, who has had the greatest? When you hear Black history, whether Jasmine or Shell, what look like Jasmine on Jasmine. When you hear Black history, who's made the greatest impact? And tell me how we're going to remember Jasmine and making an impact today.
So they calling me from my aunt stuff. But anyway, I had a whole spiel that I was going to tell because I read it before and I was going to talk about Rosa Parks. But I want to talk about, like, literally, it's so crazy. And I feel so bad that I'm referring to her now that she's not here. But I do want to just spotlight my aunt because when someone passed, you see how many people love you, you know, per se, or you see how appreciated you are and how you've changed so much within people's lives. And like literally, even me coming on here tonight, I was inspired by her because I was going to push through regardless of, and she pushed through regardless of everything.
Wow.
Like literally, it could be her mother, her grandmother, close friends, close relatives. When they passed, she did their makeup, she did their hair. That's Black history to me, when you can step in the midst of like chaos, in the midst of turmoil. Even when people were dealing with their strife, dealing with their tests and trials, she was there to be that shoulder, whether she wasn't feeling well, whether she was tired, like that. And that just gives me the to keep going. You know what I mean? Like, I'm looking on my Facebook all day and all she's getting is all this recognition, positive recognition, like nothing negative is being said. So
wow.
She is my Black history hero this month. And I just want to put that out there. And this ain't me trying to get no clout. This is just me appreciating her on a different level. And I appreciated her when she was here. Yeah. But now that I see how she was really this person to everybody, because sometimes you think a person is just nice to you, but you're nice to everybody. Like you really genuine. You really love folks. Like for real. In the midst of like really Christ-like for real. And so I just want to give my recognition to her. So her name is LaShondra Dowdy. And also how I'm trying to change the world is by showing mothers, Black mothers, that even in the midst of you having children young, in the midst of you having children at an older age, you can still accomplish your goals. They don't have to be stopped, because I found myself saying that to young girls, like, don't have a baby early because your dreams will slow down. No, that's not true. Like, your dreams can keep going as long as you keep pushing. So I'm trying to encourage young girls, because I wanted that when I was younger, that blueprint for real, like not trying to sugarcoat, not trying to cover up, like keeping it totally 100. So I want to be a change for the young girls to let them know that they can continue. Also with wives, how to be more of a wife, a Proverbs 31 woman, bringing marriages back together. Like we see everybody talking about how happy they are in their marriage, but in real life, they ain't even having sex. They're not giving any type of intimacy. They're not showing any type of love when they're behind closed doors. They're walking past each other like they don't know one another. So me and my husband, in the midst of everything that we have been through, in the midst of us almost on the brink of divorce, we are trying to show people that, hey, we came from this and now we're here. So we're trying to build up kingdom marriages, not just Black love, because I know we talk on that a lot, but just kingdom marriages as a whole, because kingdom ain't got no color. So yeah, that's pretty much.
Awesome, man. Making a mark. I'm talking about y'all making a mark already. I love it. Shell.
Yes.
Come on now. Hey, I couldn't let you and Jasmine just sit here, man. Y'all got to talk to us. Y'all. What's going on, Shell? Tell us who, basically, when you hear Black history, who is the first person you think of, and then tell us how you're making a mark or going to make a mark in Black history in the future.
So of course, when I think of Black history, I only think about the few that were put on the forefront. But as in my childhood, I was always taught to fight for an underdog and look behind the scenes. So I recently, this was just day before yesterday, I believe it was, I posted Vivian Thomas. Vivian Thomas was the first doctor to receive a doctorate without ever going to a medical school. And he's the reason why we are able to have heart surgeries. He pioneered the studies with that. And he did it with an elegance. Even back then, when it was the time of segregation, he held his head high. He didn't let nobody tell him that he couldn't, because he always knew he could. He expressed his feelings without aggression, which our Black men now are known for. They can express anger without putting their hands on somebody. This man, he really put in the forefront so many obstacles being obtained and crossed and buried. Like, I can do this. And I relate to it so much because although I have an education to a certain degree, you wouldn't know that by speaking with me, because I'm only gonna swap spit with you, for one, if I am knowledgeable on something that I'm speaking about. And then two, I never let nobody tell me the word no and tell me I can't do something. The whole city of Memphis told me I couldn't bring my dad home from a nursing home because his house was condemned. And I trusted my faith. I got on Craigslist. I found an absolute stranger. The city of Memphis turned me away 6 times. In the 7th time, they told me this was going to be our last time coming to your daddy's house to inspect this house, because I was fighting to bring my daddy home from the nursing home. And on that 7th time, that lady said, I don't know what's in you, but it did some good. And I was able to bring my dad home. He was able to live in his house with running lights, hot water, and all for the first time in May of 2013.
Wow.
And he hadn't had it in his house ever since I was 16. They came, took the meter and the gas off his house for running illegal lights. But Vivian, I relate so close to him because so many people told him that he couldn't do something because he wasn't educated enough to do it. But I physically watched my dad do certain things, and a lot of stuff in his house I did. The only things I couldn't do were like the electrical and the plumbing. But everything else, I did that because my dad taught me that. So I related extremely well with Mr. Vivian because I wasn't taught by an educational system and couldn't nobody tell me no.
Wow. Love it. Oh man. Mike Love.
Man,
When you hear Black History Month, man, who is the first person you think of, man? And how are you gonna make an impact?
So I think of Fred Hampton, Black Panther leader, for the Chicago organization. The man was killed by the police at the age of 21. But the impact that he left at a young age is amazing to me. Now all we do is talk about all the negative things that kids do. This man, he wanted everybody to unite and work together against the government. And so he set out with all the gangs in Chicago, no matter what, even the racist people. He went and he bonded everybody together. And at this time, he had to be like 16. They put the man in prison at 16.
Wow.
You see what I'm talking about? So when we say our young folks, what are we saying? Because this brother, he was killed by the police at 21. Didn't even have a life. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Didn't make 30 or 40 or 50. And what impact he could have had if he had a great impact back then. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Man, it's crazy.
21.
But my guy, that's who I think of. And for me, just wanting to make a difference with the kid, because it really ain't no bad kid. You know, you be trained to do negative things. You know what I'm saying? You can take a racist white kid and put it with a black kid and they'll play together. The kid only racist when they get with their parent, and they parent instill negativity into them. Everybody thinks smoking weed is cool now. And then you smoke weed around your kids, and then your kids get old and then they smoke weed. You know what I'm saying? And then the chain, it don't never stop. I just beg to be different. I didn't smoke and drink around my kids, so they could never say, well, I'm this way because you allowed it. Nah, I ain't allowed that. That was your choice. Just helping kids see that you can be whatever you want to be in this world, and it ain't got nothing to do with your mama, your daddy. It ain't got nothing to do with your auntie, your uncle, your grandmama. It's your choice in the end that you got to make the right decision. It's your choice. And only you stop you from being anything you want to be. You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely.
And that's where I'm at. And trying to do something different, because it seemed like it's war on our black women. Just these past couple of days, 2 black women got killed. I'm talking about a car rolling up on them and shooting up the car, even when they had kids in there. And back when I came up, we had respect for women. We just had respect for them, and we wasn't killing no kids. We wasn't killing no women. You know, things go on in this world, and people do what they got to do, but we got to have some kind of code, some kind of respect.
Man.
So I'm living my life to make this world better, and I'm willing to sacrifice myself to help somebody else.
That's what's up, man. Listen, before we get to Dale Warren Coleman, Robert Lee says, so today, what are the parents doing today? Most today are celebrity wannabes. So what are the parents doing today?
Exactly what he just said. The parents want to be in the who's who, and we have babies raising babies. We don't have no guidance, and then it has become dangerous to even pull somebody coattail to let them know, like, I wouldn't do that if I was you. People like, who you talking to? So we just let the mistake keep walking, and it's just a generational habit, and the morals of families are minimizing decade by decade.
Most definitely. I ran to the store one day, Shell and Robert, and just quick getting out the house real quick, because I think I was just on a little break. I just took a little break from the job and said, okay, I'm gonna run right to the gas station. Ran out of here, didn't have no belt on. My pants wasn't falling, but they was kind of sagging a little bit. So I'm pulling them up, and I'm walking with my legs gapped, trying to pull my pants up because I don't want nobody seeing nothing. And it just felt so weird to me, man. Like, I don't see how people my age, and mind you, I'm 48, I'll be 49 in August. I don't see how people my age do that, trying to be young, man, trying to fit in and not setting an example, not leading. Man, I felt so bad. It was like, man, I'm standing in line, holding the back of my pants up, swiping with my other hand and trying to hold my legs open, I was like, oh man, no, man, we as parents, we as what we considered, I don't know why people call me the OGs, the older people, man, we got to set an example. Whether we realize it or not, all of us on this panel, we're at that age now where we are leaders. We are looked at as leaders. I love putting y'all on here, man, because everybody on here represents a business. Everybody represents a brand. And if there are any young children watching in the background, look at this. Look at how they present themselves. This is one of the reasons why it's just, don't take this the wrong way, y'all. It's just not about Black history. It's mainly about Black history, but I want y'all to see what's going on presently. Everybody knows how to conduct themselves on here. So we're not dumb. We're not ignorant of everything. We have education. Whether it's not college or college, trust me, we know how to present ourselves. We got businesses. So it's very important, Robert Lee, for us to lead. It's very important. That's a great question, man. So let me get to these fellas. Dale Warren Coleman. When you hear the word Black history, before I go any further, Jasmine, Shell, Mike, everybody on the panel, I'm gonna come to y'all again. When I come back around, tell us something that people, if you want, this is just going to be an open question. You don't have to do it one by one, but after Robert is done, tell us something we may not know, something we may not have even thought about, somebody we may not have thought about in Black history. If you don't want to do it, fine, but we still go conversate with each other if that's cool with y'all. So Dale Warren, tell us, man, when you hear Black history, when February hit and everybody's saying this Black History Month, who was that one person that stands out the most to you? And tell us how you're going to not just make an impact, but making an impact now for your Black history and for us.
Yeah, it's always Malcolm and Martin, but Malcolm, I always lean toward Malcolm. A lot of people might compare me to him at times. Like this lady was like, I know what it is. She sent me this picture. She's like, I've been looking at Malcolm, and she said, y'all look alike. But I like the fact, and that's how a lot of people don't know. How, you know, in the Marvel comic books, we got Professor X and Magneto, the best friends. Well, you know, Magneto was more of like for the mutants, but Professor X was like, no, for the people. That's how the author, the creator of Magneto and Professor X is Martin Luther King and Malcolm. That's how he came up with the characters.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that, but Malcolm. If I had to lean and pick one, no. With Dr. Claude Anderson too, but he's alive. Now that's a person that I want to meet before he passes. But
it's all good.
I love Dr. Claude Anderson. Like that's the one. But Malcolm sticks out more than anybody. Minus, you know, my dad, but he's been in my life forever. That's the hero. Yeah. But that's by default. But if I had to, when I hear Black History Month, because and it's crazy, like people didn't even notice Martin Luther King birthday this year. I had to be like on my page, like, y'all know who birthday it is today? Nobody was like, nah, and I put up Martin Luther King. And they always skip over Malcolm. So I just hate the fact that culturally we don't stand on our heroes. We don't honor them like how the Jews honor their thing that they stand on. Like we don't, we just like it's kind of fading out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if I don't teach my son about Malcolm or Huey P or whatever, it's a rap. You know what I'm saying? They're just gonna know about rap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So unfortunately, man, because of so much Civil War, but Malcolm, because he was just so loyal, he was faithful, never cheated on his wife, he never stole any money from them, nothing. He's lily white clean. And then I can relate from Detroit Red to Malcolm. Like I like the full transition because I asked my mom. I was like, Mom, do you know who Detroit Red is? She was like, Nope. I said, you know who Malcolm X is? She said, yeah. I said, it's the same person.
Same person.
So I like how he suffocated Detroit Red. You know what I'm saying? Not to shame Detroit Red, but to the point where Malcolm outshined Detroit Red so much. I have to remind people to like, remember he was Detroit Red. Like it's gone. I like that. So Malcolm is my guy.
Gotcha. Dale Warren. If the people, the children were to read about you, now, and I should have asked this to them in this form, what would you like for the people? I mean, how would you want to be remembered? I mean, what impact?
Leaving industries in a template of how to work together as a group and teach them about empowerment. That's my next thing. My next thing I'm teaching is empowerment because we don't ever talk about that because we don't know how. We don't even understand it. The Jews always practice empowerment instantly, culturally. You know what I'm saying? The Migos, you know what I'm saying? Everybody does. But you notice you always see classes about real estate, how to fix your credit, get in debt, stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? Go to college, get it. No. The goal is empowering, but it's so much. So my legacy would be creating the industry, creating curriculums, infrastructure, empowerment. Dr. Claude Anderson, but the new version. You got Dr. Claude Anderson, Dame Dash, Malcolm X, and Martin Luther King mashed in one person. And if I can put that into a curriculum, especially Dr. Claude Anderson, then we'll be okay. Like them kids, the future will be okay because that's my whole end game. My end game is for the kids. So no matter how many Coleman and Neal posters I put, no matter how many movies I make, it's all for them so they can have an industry because I didn't have nothing. I'm first generation. Did nobody teach me nothing? Did nobody leave me nothing? My mom and dad, they good people. They're not entrepreneurs, but they still good people. But I'm saying these quote unquote leaders and political leaders or pastors or whatever, the people before me, they didn't leave me nothing. They didn't leave no mall, no nothing. And I had to figure it out. And now that I figured it out, I will be remembered for leaving cheat sheets.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Hey, you said something before I get to Robert. You said something that Shell alluded to when I put it in the group. I was like, hey, Jasmine, do y'all want to hey, this is what's on my mind for tonight. And Shell said, hey, this is a good idea because it seemed like Black history is just, like you said, it's kind of fading away. We ain't talking about it. And Jasmine started it off. Hey, not that I'm disrespecting any pioneers, but man, my auntie made an impact. You, Dale Warren, my father. Shell spoke of her father. Mike. Hey, I'm just saying I love this, y'all. I love this. Robert Johnson. Robert, Black History Month in my background. When you see it, man, and February pops in, who's that one person that you think about? I mean, just every year you just think about this one person. That's the first person you think about. And when you're gone, what impact would you have liked to have made?
Well, I really want to talk about my dad, my granddad, and my great, but I want to bring light to this family called C.R. Patterson and Sons. They were the first African-American car company in America. And they beat Ford Motor Company by about 10 years in the industry. So they were already up and running by about 12 years before Ford even came to be known as the car company it came to be.
Who was that?
Produced C.R. Patterson and Sons.
Okay.
They're out of Greenfield, Ohio. I had a chance to actually go to Greenfield. They're not really celebrated in their own city, which lets me know that, and I think you guys, everybody's kind of put it the way that it is that we don't really pay attention to our history. But, they don't even have a historical marker in their own city that they were the first American black family to have a car company. And I mean, the cars were revered. The reason that I like them, though, is that when you start to do research at the National Archives on them, that they work together very well as a family. And we always say that you should never work with your family because it'll never go right. And so I rebuke that unclean spirit. And the reason that I do is because I want to let Black children know that it's okay to work with their loved ones. And just like you have hardships with your regular business partners, you're going to have hardships with your family, especially if you live in close quarters or there are other things outside of business that you have issues with. But it's always better to build family wealth and to build together, because what it causes is, and Delquan spoke on it, legacy, building for our children and their children. For me, that particular car company sits on my mind very well, because when you look at their technology, basically Ford copied them. When you look at the reputation that they had in the newspapers before Ford Motor Company came along, they were very, very inspirable. And here's the thing: if we were just coming out of slavery, how is there a car company that's already built, that's selling cars, et cetera, et cetera? So these are some of the things that we have to start challenging the colonizers' history that they talk about us. And, these are some of the things that we have to, sit them back on their heels and say, no, you really are stealing our history. And we want to let you know we know. And whatever you think about critical race theory, I'm not here to talk about that as a thing, but it's very important that young Black children are taught about the positive effects that they had in history on this country and the world, and the inventions that were created, so that we're just not descendants of slaves. We're descendants of inventors. We're descendants of financiers. We're the descendants of people who had, scientific brains, and so the things that we're talking about, we're just coming back to it, but it's always been here for us, and we've got to keep that alive. And I agree with what the other panelists have been saying, that there's this level of continuity that we need for our children to create this level of security for them. There's this saying that in 2050, and most African Americans don't know it, that the average earning in the Black family will be 0. And so the question is, how do they know that? That's the first thing. So it lets me know that they're centered around making sure that comes to fruition. But what does it mean when you're at 0? It might mean that you're back in a position of slavery, or perceived actual position of slavery, because you've got to kind of go to the whims of what everybody else will do. And so for me, I just want to put that out there so that we're making sure that we're passing along financial understandings to our children as early as the first grade in kindergarten, giving them business acumen as early as the 8th grade, to make sure that if they work in the summer, something as simple as a lawn care industry, that they have the ability to pay their way through college just by working 4 hours a day, cutting a lawn 4 days a week. During the summer, they can save over $35,000 in creating that wealth, enough to do their own business. If they want to go to college, if they want to go to a trade school, they can pay for it out of their own pocket. So the C.R. Patterson, though, is who I want to bring homage to. What would I like people to know me for? The Zeronaire. As I said before, the Zeronaire it's like a billionaire, but without the qualities of chasing cash, actually letting it chase you.
Wow.
It's the prospect of, if you're good at what you do and people trust what you do when you're doing it, everything will come after you. You won't have to run after everything. And so as you move the movements will begin to look at where you're moving. Like there's this app because we have dishonest congressmen and senators. And so they created this app to say, what were the congressmen and senators, what stock were they getting, right? Because if they were getting a stock, they must know something that we don't know. And so they looking at what Nancy Pelosi buys. And if she buys this, everybody buys it. Why? Because she's in the backroom offices knowing what laws she's putting down to kind of, and I'm giving a scenario here, kind of understand where she wants to go so she can be rich. So people are like, well, I'm gonna follow her. And so I think it's the same thing. We know that in our communities, we don't have shelter. We don't control how our homes are built. We don't control food. We don't even control clothing. We might have clothing lines, but we don't control clothing. And so the thought is, how do we come to a situation where we're controlling the mercantile piece of that? Meaning we are the creators of it. Meaning I can go to you and buy wood from you, and I can go to her and buy a doorknob from her. And I can go to someone else and buy a piece of clothing and then put my label on it. That's the mercantile piece of it. And that piece is the piece that we have to come to qualms with, that we don't control that. And so the Zero Nair is teaching us how to get back in control of that piece. One step at a time. We do that by understanding what free energy is, which is one of the Zero Nair principles. It's called 0 point technologies. It's the ability to harness free technology and energy just from the air. If you look at the guy Wumbusu out of Africa, this guy is taking a frequency from the air, and he's driving a car off of that frequency. He's flying a helicopter, and he's able to create heat in your house and electricity.
Wow.
And so these are some of the things that we need to be centered on. And if we're centered on that, then we're not metered by the colonizers, because that's really what's taking us down, that metered system. You're metered for your water. You're metered for your electricity. You're metered for your gas. If we can get out of that metered scenario, and so what I want to be known for is allowing people to know that they don't have to be metered. And that's why I've created the principle called the Zero Nair.
Gotcha. Listen, from Jasmine to Robert, everybody on this panel, everything y'all said, man, I have much respect for what y'all are doing. I'm gonna say this real quick before I get started. Well, let me do this because I'm gonna come back to y'all. Me personally, of course, my dad, and I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story. Y'all might be like, Clint, really, man? So my dad is my hero. Now, my dad only had like a 7th or 8th grade education, but I saw this man get up every morning. I'm talking about 4 or 5 in the morning, be at work at 6. The only time my dad was late in 20, 30 years working for Sears was because I think he had to pick somebody up and they made him late, and he never forgot that. Now, mind you, my dad has been gone from Sears, man, 20 something, 30 years, man, and he never forgot that. The one time he was late and they hurt him. But I looked and saw his work ethic, and to see a man work like that when he got off work, I told y'all about how he taught me how to plant, water, and how to chop peas, pick peas, pull corn, do all of that. Come home, shuck the peas, make money from that. Taught me how to get out there and cut yards. I learned from him. He walked with me. So it was things that he taught me, how to change the tire, stuff like that. That's important. The little small things, kind of like somebody may look and say, well, why didn't such and such on the panel say something about somebody? Well, listen, who's important to you is who is important to you. And I want everybody, even in the viewers. I mean, hey, somebody may be important to you that's sitting right next to you. That's fine. My dad was my hero. He's still my hero. If I had to look back as far as a pioneer back in the day, other than my dad, it would be Garrett Morgan. Garrett Morgan was an inventor who had multiple patents. The reason why he sticks out to me, Garrett Morgan, myself, I had and still get to this day, even last week, Monday, thinking of inventions. It just comes to me. I can hear somebody say something and it's like, what if I've never seen this, but what if I did? What if I did? My problem from day one to everybody on this panel and everybody watching, I got to act on it. And I'm just being transparent. That's one of Jasmine's favorite words. You got to be transparent. Procrastination has killed a lot of businesses in me, but I got to rebirth them. That's me. But going back to my dad, let me do that just for a second because I didn't tell y'all all about him. So my dad started doing scrap metal. And we looked at him and we silly in our family. We was calling him Fred Sanford. And he would laugh because he would be checking and laughing with us too. And I remember one day, man, at the time, my dad had pulled out a lot of money. And I looked at him, me and my brother, like, man, where you get that from? He was like, here, the stuff that y'all laughing at, I pick up off the street. Man, we taking it to the junkyard, making it. I'm like, are you serious? Do y'all know I had to end up working for that man? I didn't laugh at him in a scornful way, but I ended up having to work for my dad, man. And I just say, man, he's the greatest thing to me, man, him and my mama. But going back to Gary Morgan, whenever you pull up to a traffic light, he invented that. Red, yellow, green. That was him. One of the best stories I've ever heard of somebody back in 1916. Now, y'all know how we were treated back then. Robert kind of alluded to that. But back then, there was a near tragedy in a tunnel. This man went in with what we call a gas mask and literally saved people's lives back in 1916. And there were people all over the U.S. fire departments who caught wind of it and they ordered them. So when you look at the gas mask, when you look at the traffic light, and please, Black women, do not get mad when I say this, but the straightening comb, that was him. Garrett Morgan, but that guy was a master inventor. So that's the guy that stands out every year. Every time Black History Month comes around, I think about Garrett Morgan, man. That dude back then. I don't know how y'all look at it, y'all, but back then, even up into the 60s and 70s, people are getting hung. Black people getting hung. So they was really doing us in back then. And these people were the first people to have cars in their state. I don't know if it was Pennsylvania or what, but he just stands out to me, y'all. But let me talk about y'all for a minute on the panel. And I'm gonna start with Jasmine. I'm gonna tell you some things I've never said to y'all that I just noticed. Jasmine to go live, and I'm seeing her. She's doing this motion. I don't know what that is, but the girl working. I have much respect for that because for some reason I can see her daughter just look, Mom, I don't want, but I can see her daughter even getting involved in that. But I'm seeing her husband. This was back in maybe 2017, 2018, out there in the heat, Parbella at the fairgrounds. Hey, man, I see that, man. I gotta support him. I take my hat off to y'all, Jasmine. Rochelle.
Don't start.
I'm telling you. That's why I've turned my head this way because I don't want to get hit. But I seen her one day. She don't know this, but she had the Dunkin' Donuts shirt on, going live. And I'm saying this girl is always working. Much respect. Because Jasmine spoke of her aunt. And this is something that we hardly ever think about, is the single mother that's trying to take care of her two boys. She's working two jobs. She can't be there. So she got to be the man and the woman. I know people don't like to hear that, but she's got to be the stronghold. She's got to be the disciplinary and the one that shows affection. Nobody talks about the single man who got 3 little girls and he got to work 2 jobs and got to secretly close them in the house and say, hey, the food in there, you know what to do. So I see people like Jasmine and Rachel doing things. And it's like, man, I have much respect. Mike Love and another one. Mike is that dude that's always busy, man. That's always doing this. And he said, listen, I just want to do, I'm waiting on him to say, man, you done made a mark. You making a strong mark. Who lets people pay a loan on a car anywhere between $100 to $350 a month? Where they do that at? That ain't even a down payment for a car. That's unheard of. Y'all making marks already in people's lives, man. Already. Dale Warren. He just laughed at me one time when I called Dale Warren a Jamaican. I mean, every time you look around, Dale Warren He got a business. You only got 30 jobs. You the lazy bum. He that dude just always working. And to hear him say, he says something I know a lot of people don't agree with. Hey, y'all, I don't believe in physically disciplining my children. And anybody that can talk to their children and show love to their children, man, I have respect for that. And he's trying to implement and leave something for his children. He's going to do it. Robert Johnson, there hasn't been one time, maybe once, we went live where Robert was at home. Robert is out working. Robert at the church. Robert doing this. He's doing from Tennessee to Michigan. Robert is working, and he's working out things, and he's employing. So it's all of y'all on this panel. Y'all have made a mark in me already. So I don't have to read about you in the book right now. I'm reading you right now. Every week we get on here. Shell said, man, we're going to be doing this every week. Man, as often as I can get y'all on here, I'm going to do it. Whether it's every week or not. I have respect for y'all, man. I love looking at y'all. I love what y'all are doing. And everything starts at home and at home. And y'all doing it. Y'all doing it, man. So I got to give y'all flowers. I believe they did it back in the day, y'all. I believe people put their arms around Martin Luther King, Fred Hampton, Malcolm X. I believe they did and said, man, I love what you're doing. May be dangerous, but I love what you're doing. And I believe everybody on here, I'm not speaking death on nobody, but I believe that if your life ended today, I'm not going to say y'all, if a person like y'all's life ended today, I believe y'all life will end doing something as far as making an impact in your home, in your community, in the state, on this internet. I love what y'all doing. I just pray that y'all don't stop. There's going to be things said about all of us. People are already talking about us. I just believe we are making an impact, man, even if it's just one family, one dude at a time. Dale Warren, getting people that's, ex-convicts, man, I love that. I love that. What I'm looking at y'all, and I'm going to ask y'all a question. Do y'all remember Black Wall Street?
Yes.
Do y'all remember reading the
Yeah. I'm deep into that.
Okay. So I'm looking at everybody on the screen. I want y'all to correct me if I'm wrong. Dale Warren got the yard business. Dale Warren got the clothing line. Robert has the construction business. Mike gets you cars. Rachel, I don't know if she said this, but I saw some shoes she had too. But Rachel, what else do you do? I'm sorry, Rochelle. What else do you do, Shell?
I do some everything. I'm a public speaker, advocate for fathers. I design shoes. I'm a manager for comedians. I write, direct, manage, just anything within the entertainment world. I do.
You manage. You're a leader. I like the fact that even in the marriages and relationships, Jasmine is making a difference, and we look good with the Parbella. Everybody on here, Dale Warren, I don't know if you would agree with me. We got our own small Black Wall Street right now. Right now. Right here. We're making an example and impact right now. What if, Robert Johnson, what if we had our own bank? What if we came together and got our own church, our own schools, our own grocery stores, and look good doing it with the Parbella, and go home to a nice yard with green thumbs, and then we can watch Mike Love on TV while people riding cars for 100? What if? And then we got people to even manage people like Mike. You know what I'm saying? Even in the comedy show. What if, Robert, we just got together and just did some stuff like that? I know what Malcolm did, and I take my hat off to him. I know what Sojourner Truth did. I know what I know what all of them did. I love Harriet Tubman, one of my favorite people, Black Moses. I love her. But what about right here, right now, y'all? What if we did get together and just, if you just look around and just look on this screen, man, what if we got together and did that, Robert?
It's funny you brought up Black Wall Street. One of the things that I was watching about 9 months ago was this, he's a historian. He was a pastor out of Black Wall Street. And after Black Wall Street was bombed, most people don't know that it lasted for 25 more years, and he documented that.
Wow.
And so he has the actual videos and movies of an active Black Wall Street even after it was bombed. So what we've been taught is not true. I just want to put that out there so our listeners can go and kind of look at that. His name is Harold M. Anderson. Harold M. Anderson. So, but to put it into retrospect of what you're saying, when you go and look at those videos of Black Wall Street, you see a vibrant Black life. And when we go into an urban area today, that's not portrayed. And when it's portrayed, it's most of the time is that those Black individuals are scattered in a suburban area. And so my thought is, why do we have to be scattered amongst other, ethnic groups? Why can't we be together?
Wow.
And have the power of the unity? I was telling somebody the other day, I said, when I went to get my junior license, my junior certificate in lifeguarding at 13, I went to the Jewish Community Center. And when I went to the Jewish Community Center, they were having a bar mitzvah, and I saw all of the fathers lining up to give this one child $2,000 each. Mm-hmm. And they were telling him what he needed to do, why they were investing in him. And I'm like, 2,000? This was back in the 80s. And at the end of it, he might have had like $60,000 or $64,000 because it was well over 30 people.
That's what I just brought up. I said empowerment. Didn't I tell you that? That's called empowerment. They don't mind empowering each other. We have a problem. Let me show you. I can guarantee you everybody on this, minus me, everybody on here either has bought something from Ralph Lauren or Michael Kors. I can guarantee you that. Or name
Negative.
brand, right?
Negative.
You have a name brand though. So you've never bought a Nautica. It's very hard to believe. But anyway, okay, well I still got like 4 more other people on here. But the point I'm making is this. Like, you see how quick that is to be like negative, like before I make my point. My point is nobody on this panel besides one has a Coleman and Neal. We do not like, I wrote this down. We unwillingly but willingly don't support each other. We unwillingly but willingly will not support each other. That's why the difference between Black Wall Street, everybody practiced empowerment and groupism by default because they had no choice. They had no choice. You know what I'm saying? And it was really luck though. Black Wall Street came about, they was forced to be on, we're going to say they was forced to be on some land. And we're going to say the crackers, they didn't want them on their land. They're like, yo, get out of Whitehaven and go to South Haven. Get out. So they pushed all the Black people to South Haven, not knowing that it was oil on that land. That's how Black Street. Yeah, that's not Black Street, but Black Wall Street. That's how it happened. That's why they was able to build it twice. So the fight was about oil. It wasn't about the Black boy talking to a white girl or nothing like that. That's just the reason to be like no different from me saying, hey man, I can guarantee we ain't about name brands, and to be like negative. That's the pick. Like no versus saying, well, at the end of the day, have you willingly bought a Coleman and Neal t-shirt? A Coleman and a t-shirt.
So I just want to go on record real quick, Dale, and say I have not purchased, but I did give you an
No, I already made it.
Let me finish.
I already said that.
Oh, okay, but I just want to go on record to let you know that I did offer to buy a branch of Coleman and Neal and put Detroit on it, remember? And what you'll know about me and when I purchased,
we have never had that conversation.
You said no, I got you.
No, I said we have never had that conversation.
It's online.
Let me piggyback off of Robert. Robert.
I'm holding from Coleman and Neal.
Let me finish. And so the reason that I don't invest in clothes, so usually I invest in the stock in clothes, and then I let that stock buy my clothes from my investment. So that's why I made that offer to you online. And so you said that you didn't have, it wasn't all of your company. That was your response to me. And so I just want to make that known to the listeners That's
Right.
that's my
And I'm
position
Coleman
on
from
it.
Coleman and Neal. And I know my partner didn't get that conversation because
No, I just
I'm
showed you that.
Birdman and he's slim. So he kind of way back in the cut. I'm very vocal. This is my thing. Wait. This is my thing. We're gonna say that conversation existed, which I know it didn't because I'm always open to get rid of. I remember one time this dude was like, yo, I really like that Coleman and Neal jacket, man. I said, you want to buy it right now? He said, yeah. He said, he said, how much is it? I said, how much are you willing to give it to me for? Now I probably paid, I think I wanted like, I think I wanted like 100. I think I just wanted $100. I said, how much you willing to pay for it? I think he said 200. I said, so I took it off right there, right then and there. I'm always open. Me and my partner, we'll sell the whole company. We will sell Coleman and Neal. We would definitely sell it. You know, we're not married. That's what you build brands for, to sell. You know what I'm saying? So everything is for sale. But but this is my thing. Look how long we've been talking about Black Wall Street, how long Black people have been saying, hey man, we could work together. But offline, none of us buy from each other. Like, there's just the fact. Like, it's easy
So
to be here.
Let me say this.
I just want to
am a
finish.
host of pop-up shops. I have been doing this for 3 or 4 years. I know over 200 vendors in Memphis. So I can literally say I host the Black Wall Street. So you can speak from your own point of view, but from my point of view, my eyes and these glasses right here, all 4 of us see a plethora of Black businesses working together. As a matter of fact, March 16th is going to be another pop-up shop because the one I just had last Saturday was amazing. When we make our opinions, we must also make the disclaimer and say what we have saw, because I know I am in the business of pop-up shop worlds, and I see so many Black businesses work together, from the entrepreneurs. As a matter of fact, my kids, let me put this in there, my kids made history because my daughter put together the kid entrepreneurs for the Talisa Franklin pop-up shop, where we was in the science park, where we once was sold as slaves. My kids were the first vendors on their property selling their merchandise where we once was sold. My daughters made the move here.
Congratulations.
So you have to speak, but you have to speak from your own version. Like, it's a lot of Black businesses that work together. And then we get offended. Let me finish. We get offended when our merchandise don't move. We get offended because last week you took over. This week I'm a little concentrated.
No. Wait. I want to finish.
We get offended, but let me tell you though, we get offended when our merchandise don't move within our community. But what if where you're selling your merchandise, it's just not a commodity there? You have to get your clothes in the demographics where it'll be bought.
Is that your brand you wearing?
Well, nobody on here bought from this. If it's not what I know about it, we don't know about it. But
That's impossible. Wait. I was talking number 1 first, so let's remember that. Number 2.
No.
Let me finish. Let me finish. Yeah, just let me finish. Let's build those. So you have seen me 3 times, probably total, right? You also was in my inbox. Every time I've been on here, I've had on a Coleman and Neal watermark. Every time. If you saw me today cutting grass, everybody had on green thumbs. You know what I'm saying? So, and as far as in like, yo, maybe it's not the dim, yo, dim. No. I'm always selling. You're dealing with an entrepreneur that have survived 3 recessions. I'm a full-time entrepreneur. So I've survived 3 recessions. So I know exactly what I'm talking about. And and then evidence is evident. So if you actually, if whatever you're trying to sell or you're selling, I just ask you, is that your brand that you're wearing?
This is not my brand. I just told you I don't shop name brand.
Wait. Right. Okay, bet. But hold on. Nothing stops you from getting Coleman and Neal, Millionaire Grind, Lifestyle, whatever the Black. We're talking about right now. We're having a Black conversation.
Okay, can I say something really quick?
I shop the branch of it.
I have
no.
I have on a black business today.
That's good.
This is from a black business. My purse, I normally buy Brumman, but I start supporting my girl Tanisha. She makes purses. I also, let me just piggyback off of what you said. You also have to be, you have to give off the spirit of somebody wanting to buy from you. I don't care if my black sister is selling the high quality things, if she has a horrible
But nobody
attitude.
does that in business.
Okay, who you said nobody does that in business?
Nobody does that in business.
Only people that are desperate don't.
No. Nobody
I know
looks
plenty
at
of-
a television and say Roku is racist. Roku is racist. They own slaves, and I'm not going to buy this TV.
You're not Roku, baby.
No, I'm Coleman from Coleman and Neal. Right. You're actually, this is a luxury.
That's a different
Wait.
stature.
No. I'm talking about the consumer does not look at, nobody has
I'm
ever
not
looked at
talking about
Coleman
the
and Neal
consumer.
and said, no,
Wait a minute.
that's what we're talking about. You just said,
No,
you just said, people
I'm
have to
picking
feel your
back off
spirit.
what you said.
Nobody looks at my
All right.
spirit when they hire me. Nobody
I'm
looks at my
picking-
spirit when they're buying Coleman and Neal.
All right, so y'all, let's do this. Let's do this,
Spirit
y'all.
when you don't let other people talk.
Just one at a time. That's all I'm asking. I don't care about the conversation.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
I mute.
I'm picking back off of what you said at first. You were asking us, like, do you have Coleman and Neal? Do you have Coleman and Neal? So my thing is, me seeing how you act, I wouldn't even want to buy from you. And
That's
this is just me
personal
being
though.
real.
Only black people do that. Nobody does that in business. That's what I'm
It
saying.
is not
Nobody
just
does
black
that.
people.
Everybody
Nobody does that in
It's
business.
called
No, they don't. Nobody looks at a piece of
everybody
toilet
does
paper
that.
and say, no, all right, let me ask you a question. Have you ever went in
Can I
Walmart, right? I got to ask her a question because nobody does that in business. Nobody, a white lady just hired me and my team to cut her yard. There was no black people that lived over there. Nobody cares. Nobody cares
We're
who
not
cut the
talking
yard.
about racism.
You just said it.
No, I did not say racism.
You discriminate. You're
No,
cherry
I
picking.
spoke of your-
You said no one will buy from you with your spirit like that.
And I said nobody cares. Nobody shops like that. Nobody goes to
It's
Amazon or
called
my
customer
Coleman and Neal page and do that.
service.
Okay.
It's called customer
No,
service.
it's called cherry picking. It's called I'm looking at his no, no, it's not. No, it's not. Listen, if nobody buys anything from Coleman and Neal, we still in business. I have a core demographic. I'm just saying for the people that's saying the kumbaya saying, yo, black people, I'm agreeing with Clint. Saying, you know what, man, look at all of this. We like an all-star team, right? But nobody passes the ball to nobody. That's the thing. And I'm saying, yo, I'm cool with that. I don't have a problem with it. But ain't nobody, we got to start with the t-shirt.
But
We have to start with the t-shirt.
We spoke about this in the inbox. We spoke about purchasing from each other.
Yo, man, I ain't got time to, bro, I don't been on inbox. I be working. What are you talking about? We talking about now.
About us
Can I,
supporting one another. You got some personal
Can I
stuff
intervene?
going on
Can I say
tonight.
something?
Please.
I got a couple things to say. One, Clinton, we should have like a time limit, 4 to 5 minutes. Once they time up, then let somebody else speak to keep it fair. Just to keep it fair. Because everybody want to get their point across. I get it. But you got to give everybody time to speak. So I'm going to say this, Delwan. You say ain't nobody purchased. Let me say this. I was on the live when Robert said, you should do a Coleman and Neal Detroit. No, it wasn't with Neal. It was just you on the live that night. I was on there when he said that. But you was just like you was in an uproar right now. You was in an uproar then, and you missed it.
Can I ask you a question? Okay, let me ask you a question. Listen, number one, if a person say, hey man, we're gonna do a Coleman and Neal and put Detroit on it. And me and my partner, both of us are gonna be like, why? No. Why would we do that? Nobody does that. And if we're doing a mashup, with Walt Disney, or if you own Detroit is your line, and we can do a mashup, then it's different. So now we got your demographic and my demographic. We got Coleman and Neal X Detroit. But we're not putting Coleman and Neal just because you feel like it should be Detroit to make you purchase it. It's never going to happen. Why don't you just be like, you know what?
Oh, look,
that's Mikey stuff. I'm going to buy.
Check this out.
So
all he did, hold on. All he did was say, hey, that'll be a good idea. because Coleman and Neal, Detroit,
And I said, no, it
Coleman
won't.
and Neal, Memphis, Coleman and Neal, New York, it's still Coleman and Neal. But look, let me say this too. Let me say this. You said, didn't nobody buy your stuff. I called you one day. I called you.
I said you did, bro.
Hold on,
I said
hold
minus
on. Let me
you.
finish though. Let me finish because it
Okay.
get deeper than what you think.
All right, go
I
ahead.
called you. I said, man, I want to put some of your stuff on in some movies I'm filming.
Correct.
You said, all right, I'm gonna take care of you. I'm like, cool.
Right.
I never asked you how much or nothing. You shot me the price, I paid it. I paid
Correct.
it. I paid it.
True.
I
That's fact.
still wanted more stuff. I still
Okay.
wanted more stuff. All you had to do was shoot it to me. You know what you did? We disagreed. You stopped with it. You know
Hey
what you
man,
told
stop,
me?
man. Hey, y'all gotta cut that out, bro. Hey, listen,
I'm telling you
listen.
facts.
You gotta cut out it. And now
Clint,
that's,
hey,
bro. We
look,
ain't had no
Clint, every
conversation on that.
time, hey,
Stop
you
lying.
can't cut me off, bro.
No, stop lying. I'm not gonna let you lie
I
on
call
me.
that brother, every live, I'm like, dang, I'm trying to get your Coleman and Neal. You ain't gonna sell to me, Clint. You know I ain't lying. Delwan, I
Hey
don't
man,
tell lies.
stop. Hey, bro.
Everything
Hey,
that Mike
stop.
Love say, he
Stop
mean it.
lying. Yo, if
Clint,
anybody
please.
want to purchase,
Clint, please.
cause you loud,
Tell
cause
that
you loud
brother
doesn't mean
he
you're right.
never did. He never
Because
did.
you're loud does not mean that you're right.
You
Because you're
never
loud doesn't mean
did.
you're right.
No,
Well,
I'm
like,
loud
like we
because
are really,
you want to
we
I
keep
are
was,
really
I
talking.
was,
making
Hey,
You
sense
want
listen,
to
with
we
keep
got
bringing
two
the
talking
different.
brother
while I'm
right
Hey,
now.
talking.
y'all, give me
And
some
I'm
respect. We got three
loud.
different people talking at one time, y'all.
yeah, he just
Yeah.
yelling, man. At this point,
No,
he
I'm
just
not
yelling.
yelling. I was talking, but I feel strongly about this because I know Clint know I ain't
I would
lying.
sell
I
close to the
called
devil.
you several times.
I
I
would sell
called you,
close to the devil.
nigga,
We know.
lying.
Okay.
I
So
called
what are
you
you talking
several
about?
times.
You're lying.
I call and I don't and I'm half and half, so I'm still street
Right.
all day.
Halfway telling the
So
truth and still lying. Right.
so
You're
look,
absolutely right.
Clint,
Okay,
I
so
called
let me
you.
say
All right,
this.
Clint,
so
Can I
Clint
say
know I ain't
something?
lying on you, boy. I called you and I
Clint is
asked you
not
if
my
you would
manager. What do
not,
you keep yelling
you
his
would
name for? He's
not
not my manager.
sell, you would not sell to me. And I didn't
Okay,
understand
so
why
look,
you
look,
couldn't.
Yo.
look, look, look.
Oh,
I'm gonna
man.
say this.
But you sit
Hey.
I'm
on
gonna
this
say this. I'm
panel,
gonna say this.
you sit on this panel
Mike,
and you make it
Mike,
seem like you want to
Mike.
sell your clothes. And when a person coming to you, because I got several of your stuff and I spent
That's
money on
true.
it, and
That's
I
true.
spent money on it, which it
That's
wasn't
true.
cheap. I ain't gonna lie to you, it wasn't cheap, but it's nothing because I was supporting you and your
Okay,
brand.
so why are you bringing
But
that
what
up?
I'm
I mean,
saying to
so why
you,
are you
hold
lying
on,
then?
bro, you can't always talk. That's why I'm
Well,
talking
earlier you
loud
said
because
I
you always
lied,
want to
so
talk.
we know
You
that was
cut
not
me
I
off,
know you
you
lied because
cut
we didn't have that
you cut
conversation.
Shell off, you cut
Mike
Jasmine
just
off.
vouched that we had the
You even
conversation.
cut
Oh,
Yo, Mike
you
hey,
is
cut
half
hey,
and
me
hey,
off.
y'all,
half.
so
I'm gonna leave
let's
this
get it back in
because
order, y'all.
no, I don't do this. I don't do this. I don't do the yelling like we on this man
Right.
platform. It is a whole nother place. And then like when we make points and it's and someone can jump in there and piggyback off the point, it get lost in the communication. But what you missed there one like my daughter, we are her
I didn't
we're
miss
her
anything.
kindergarten. Listen, see, it's you. It's you. It's
No,
not
don't
nobody else.
cherry
It's
pick. You
you.
can just have a
It's
conversation with me.
you.
Don't be like, what I
So
didn't miss anything. I'm
listen.
listening. The moment you tell the truth, I say yes. The moment you lie, I say you're lying. That's it.
Okay, so you're just hearing to respond. So the biggest thing that I was hearing with when Mr. Johnson was saying something about your clothes, you still could have got in because we make candles. People that didn't know how to make candles, but they wanted to add it to their business and put their stamp on it. That's called a distribution deal. You could have done that, but just because it was only
But we never had a conversation. We never had the
you
conversation.
need,
We
Bro,
but
never
doctor,
that
you
that's
had
missed
the
the
yeah,
part when you
conversation.
stopped me
Never.
yeah.
to.
We
Oh
never
no,
had the
you're not
All
gonna be
right,
conversation.
yelling at me, and I'm
one
not
person
gonna
at a time. One
disrespect
person.
nobody on here. So I'm gonna politely leave because one
Yo,
thing I
man.
stand big on besides my
Bye.
feet is respect.
Goodbye.
You're
Who
not
cares?
going to
Nobody cares.
disrespect me,
Nobody cares.
baby.
Oh my
Y'all have a
God.
good night. Y'all have a
No,
good
no,
night.
no,
I'm a
no.
reminder lady. Y'all
We
have a good
Peace.
night.
Get out.
we are
Yo,
on the
go. Get
same
out. Who
page.
cares?
Like you
You
told
don't have
me,
to go
no.
anywhere. But this is what we gonna do, y'all. We have to respect each other, whether we disagree or what, y'all.
Right.
And here's the thing that I don't like. Whenever we get into stuff like this, it falls right back on me, and everybody gonna be inboxing and calling me and saying, "Clint, you need to get control." And it's like, I'm trying to let everybody be adult. I don't want to come in and say, hey, stop. Hey, this, man, y'all adults. But it always fall back on me like I don't know how to control my show. I'm giving y'all the platform to, hey, just speak. If we don't agree, we don't agree. And it's real
That's
simple.
it. Thank
It's
you.
real simple, y'all. If we don't agree, we don't agree. But again, I started off the show by saying, man, we got young children probably watching. Let them see how we work out stuff. I'm doing this for different reasons, y'all. But hey, y'all, we're too grown, y'all. If we have an issue, let's work that out, man. Everybody ain't got to talk over everybody. So if I have to do the 4-minute thing, Mike, we'll just have to do that. But I'm on here talking about Black History Month. I don't want to talk about anything personal. Let's talk about Black History Month and how we can make a difference. What we need to talk about, what we
I was trying to make a point. We was talking about Black Wall Street, and I would say it can work, but it won't work until we start purchasing the one item culturally. That's what I'm trying to get to. But listen, they have sometimes people have a personal problem with me that are on these platforms or whatever. And listen, it's never on my platform. Everybody's cordial on my platform. But what it is you can cherry pick and make the moment you lie. I'm not going to let you continue the lie, and I'm gonna sit there like a Johnny and be like, no, if you telling the truth, I'm cool with it. If we never had that conversation, because especially in business, whenever we talk in business, I'm always open to sale. I'm never turning down a sale unless it's too cheap. That's it. But if you're trying to do business with me, I'm open to sale. I don't care about the emotions. You can get off the page. You can throw me off. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I'm only concerned about the client and the sale. That's it when it comes to business. Now, culturally, I do want us to work together. As a matter of fact, I do events all the time, and I invite everybody. I made the brand for us, by us. But until we start saying, you know what, G, I'm religiously, culturally going to buy the t-shirt. It don't have to be me. It could be Ernest. It could be Millionaire Grind. It could be Gary. It could be FUBU. It just has to be cultural. Until we start practicing cultural habits economically, nothing is going to change but this. We're going to have these conversations, then get off here and go back to our lives. That's it.
Clint,
let me ask you this. And this is, if y'all don't mind me, Mike, Jasmine, let me do this real quick. On I don't want to say the name. On another live a while back, Robert said, hey man, let's talk about doing a Detroit branch of Coleman and Neal. After that, I don't know what was said. I can't remember. But let me ask you, Dale Warren, when Robert presented that, did you have an issue with that?
Again, when you have a conversation, you can remember one, right? So me and you have had misunderstandings, right? But we still remember the conversation, right? Right. If we not in business, I'm an ace. And you talking to somebody that's a full-time entrepreneur that have survived 3 recessions. All right. So this is the thing. Whenever we talk about business, if we could have the conversation right now on live, and it's still no. Because you know why? Because now we have to add all different cities under Coleman and Neal. So we got Coleman and Neal, Detroit, Coleman and Neal, Memphis, Coleman and Neal, Chattanooga. You know how many of these we have to make of medium, small, large, extra large, and 3X for one word? When we already got it on the palette, that's how I know we didn't have the conversation. And now it's never going to happen because we don't make enough money.
That's cool. That's what I want to know.
Can I please?
Yeah. All I ask is, as long as you're talking, Mike, let Mike talk. When Jasmine talk, let her talk. When Robert talk, y'all just I don't mind. This is what I'm doing. I'm doing it for y'all.
Let me say this about respect, Dale Warren. If you had respect, you would have been like, Mike, man, hey, maybe I just don't remember that. Not you lying. I'm grown just like you are. Now, this is what I do know about Robert. Robert is an entrepreneur. That's what he is. So if he asked you something about a business, he was willing to contribute because that's what he stands for. I know. I work with him. I know it. This ain't nothing I'm lying about. Furthermore, when Robert started talking, the first thing he said, is I'm a piggyback off of Dale One. And then he brought up the Black Wall Street. When you started talking, you know what the first thing you said? I already said that. That's disrespectful. If we grown,
Hey,
we
stop
grown
cherry
men.
picking.
We grown men. But every time your conversation comes off and then you want to make it seem like somebody got a problem with you, bro. The only thing I got a problem with is if my money messed up. That's it. I don't have a problem with no human being on this earth. Only time I have a problem is if my money ain't right. When you see me, I'm in my place of business every time I'm working. So don't think that I got an attitude with somebody else that can't pay none of my bills. None of them. My bills equal yours twice. And I know this. So at the end of the day, man, we got to just start showing respect. And if you would have came that way, wouldn't nobody on this panel had a problem with what you were saying. And that's just the way I feel.
Robert, I haven't heard from you and Jasmine, man. What's going on? What's going on in y'all's head?
Well,
Jasmine, I hadn't heard from you in a while. Jasmine,
in general, I never have problems with brothers. Never. So I'm always going to be in a position, and it's always my position. Mike can tell you when he was here in Detroit, I didn't charge him for the consultation I did with him. I put him up on the compound where he was going to shoot the movie for free, and made sure that he had everything that he needed to do it, so that when he came here, he know he was taken care of. He can vouch for that. That's who I am. And so when I was given Del Juan the option to do Detroit, it was really because I was going to put my own money behind it because I trusted in his brand. But we didn't have the conversation to continue after the podcast because we never had a chance to talk. I went on to the 901 Union. I think it's called 901 Union, and I wasn't able to get on it because something was wrong with the website at that time. And so I mentioned that to my friends. And so they were like, "Well,
hey, Clint, I'm at to log off and call because my phone keep calling, keep ringing.
Okay.
I can't hear nothing. If you can hear me, I'm gonna log off, man. Just log me back in because it sounded like he said something about a consultation, the 901 Union, and I just want to hear it. You know what I'm saying?
I'll wait
That's
until
all.
you get back on."
I want the truth. You know, I'm gonna speak the truth, but you can keep going. I'm gonna come back.
So my opinion is that when you say somebody's lying, Mike heard me, you heard me, because you guys were on the show. So the thought was that, like I said before, I like to invest in the stock of something before I buy the clothes of it. So for instance, you'll see that I graduated from the University of Maryland at College Park. Under Armour endorsed the University of Maryland before Nike did. So I invested in the stock from Under Armour because they invested in my alma mater. And then because of that, I made money from them. Now I go back with the money that I make from that stock and buy my clothes. And that's kind of what I do. That's how I buy clothes. So you'll see that my whole camping infrastructure is based on Under Armour because I invested in that stock because they invested in the university that I graduated from. I just want to speak up about a project that I'm doing in Gillette, Wyoming. It'll be 50,000 people there in Gillette. It's already confirmed. It's called Pathfinder, Believe the Promise. And with those 50,000 people, I would encourage any Black vendors who want to come through to it's August the 5th through the 10th in Gillette, Wyoming. It'll be 50,000 people there. Most of the people who I've put on in that area of these events that happen every 5 years, we were in Oshkosh, Wisconsin last time. It was 40,000 people there. And the last time we participated in, 4 of my vendors made over $37,000 in 1 week period. And so, if you got 40,000 people who are walking past your booth and 100 of them spend $100, you're at 10 grand the first day. I mean, you're at 20 grand the second day. And then as you begin to come to the end, you put your stuff on sale, the right thing, and people, you just sold out. I had a lot of vendors who came with like $20,000 worth of product. they sold out the first 2.5 days. And so if you want to be a part of that, make sure you hit me up in my inbox, because I want to make sure that we have options. And a lot of us are first-time generations, but I'm not. My family in the Adventist community, I'm a fifth-generation entrepreneur. And so what that means is I've had my father, my grandfather, my great-grandfather, my great-great-grandfather pass down information to me within that Christian community. And we've been following the youth ministries track, and we've made hundreds of thousands of dollars off of that infrastructure. And so I would like to invite you, if you're a trusted person around children, you have to be a trusted person around children, but 50,000 children and the people who came with them to watch over them will be there in Gillette, Wyoming, at the Camporee. It's called a Camporee, and you'll enjoy it. I mean, it's like heaven on earth. So hit me in my inbox at Rob Johnson. You can put Zero Nair or Boss Magic on Facebook, and you can find me.
Gotcha. Jasmine, hadn't heard from you in a while. Need to hear from you. What's going on?
I will definitely love that, Rob. Like, me and my husband travel doing events all the time already. So I would definitely inbox you. But just listening to how, much, I don't want to say clout per se, but clout you have in the business industry, all of the things to help other people, you know what I'm saying, with their businesses. I just kind of feel like we just have to be careful. And this ain't a shot at nobody. This is just serious. Like, we have to be careful who we speak to in a derogatory way. We have to be careful who we're raising our voice to, because we never know. Like, okay, yeah, our businesses are doing well. Yes, we survived recessions. Yes, we did good during COVID. But you never know who could put you in position. And I think we always miss the mark when we try to.
Let me say something after you.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Okay. I think we mix the mark when we try to be the head honcho so much. And when we try to be King Dingaling or Queen Pearls, whatever, we miss the mark from people that can really help us get to where we've been trying to get. So, like, I can piggyback off of Mike. Respect is everything. I don't care how big you are in business. Nobody wants to work with someone disrespectful. And honestly, I think that once you get higher up, it's easier to be like, oh, I don't need you. Let me go to the next. Because a lot of people that are being disrespectful, a lot of people that are speaking derogatory, you're not as great as you think you are. This ain't me talking to nobody. This is me keeping it real. It's some type of insecurity there. It's some type of lack there. It's some type of loneliness there. It's some type of something. And I'll just keep it at that, because Delwan really wants to say something.
Okay. Go ahead, Delwan.
Hey, let me say that she was throwing a shots at me, but it's cute, but it's cool. Hey, let me say this. I have no problem with doing business with nobody that really do business. You know, I never had a problem with the bosses in my life. I only have a problem with the capos and the workers. I've never had a problem with Dame Dash, Marco McClendon, Lamatis, nobody, people that's really doing it. Like, and I'm not belittling nobody, because I said in the beginning, everything that I do is for the children. Nothing come before the children. There's no demigod, there's no Jesus Christ, there's no church, there's no pastor comes before Kingston. Nobody comes before them. And this is what I mean. So back to the business. Again, Clinton, me and you have had misunderstandings before, but I got your back. But we still remember when we talk about something, if there's a misunderstanding, you will quote something and I say, no, this is what I said and this is what I meant, right? We do that all the time. It's okay. But if I can't remember a conversation and you're cherry picking and making up stuff, you're taking little truths and adding long lies to make it sound like you're telling, and I'm sitting right here and I'm saying in my face, yo, B, we never discuss business like that, because when I do business, I close deals. I'm a deal closer. And I have, and another thing, like, hey, I'm not humble when it comes to business. I'm a shark, because business, you're in a pool of sharks. But I'm not an evil or mean. I've never cheated nobody out of a quarter ever in life. Never. I've never cheated a person out of a quarter. everything that I sign up for, whether if it's a wedding or whatever, I know I could rock them to sleep because they got a lot of capital and they don't know what it costs to for photography or videography. Nope, I charge them exactly for the hours and the time I'm going to be there. And if I do anything extra, I add extra. I have no problem with my clients. You have a problem with me personally, and you think it's going to project in my company. Again, I'm a full-time entrepreneur. I'm not a person that clocks in at Walmart and then say I'm an entrepreneur. No, you're a part-time entrepreneur, which is okay. But you're talking to a tycoon. That's the difference. So therefore, I know what I'm talking about, because if I say I survived 3 monsters and you ain't ever been in, you ain't ever fought one, you can't talk to me about what I need to do, how I need to do it. Like Dang said, how you gonna tell me how to make $1 million and you ain't even got one? How you gonna tell me how to run my business and you ain't even doing it? I'm doing it full time. I have employees. You know what I'm saying? I've lost, I've won, I've taken it with a smile. And I've
Clint, can I speak after him?
Yeah.
I have no problem with it. I can stop whenever you're ready for me to stop. But everything I'm saying is the God honest truth, 100%. And I say the same thing every time. And I'm gonna say it one more time. Everything that I've built, I didn't, like I told Clint before we even got on here, I didn't need no lawn service. I did that for convicted felons. So at the end of the day, these quote unquote Christians that be throwing shots, I'd never throw shots at y'all, bro. Never. I'm just saying, hey, if you ain't support me, that's just what it is. Clint, have you ever bought a Coleman and Neal shirt for me?
No.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying. And that's not saying, if Clint said, hey, G, one day I ain't got it, but I want to sponsor your clothes, I'm going to say, give me your sizes and I'm going to send you every color. And whenever you get it, just remember me, like the thief on the cross. Hey, G, you Jesus, ain't it? Yep. Hey, man, when you get to heaven, remember me. That's all.
Can I say something real quick, Delwan? Okay, so I wasn't throwing a shot at you, but your actions did bring me to my next
Yo,
point.
man, you was talking about me, cuz. Come on, man.
Okay,
I'm not stupid.
So let me explain something. At least I'm doing it here face to face, if that's how you take it.
No, just say my name when you do it. Don't do it in subliminals. I'm right here. Say it. Yeah, I don't throw rocks and hide my hand. Christian.
I don't.
Come on, man, y'all. We got to keep it cool, y'all. For real talk.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm doing, Clinton. Like, my blood pressure has not raised at all. I don't have.
Well, don't poke at the bear. Don't poke at me.
Let us speak there.
At you. Okay, let me just say this. I'm sitting here being respectful to you after you bashed me on your live with your girlfriend just the other day.
That's personal, man. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Stop lying on me, man. I didn't bring up your name. I don't even know you like that, cuz. Stop lying. You taking it personal. Nobody brought up your name. Stop lying. Don't do that. Don't say I did something with my girlfriend and we did not do that. No, I'm not going to say silent and let somebody lie on me and then be like, well, war is deed. No. The moment you lied, the moment I speak. I never made a live about you. We never responded to you. Nobody responded to what you wrote on my page. These are facts. Nobody.
Of course you did. Of course you didn't, because I hushed you.
Because we didn't even know what you was talking about.
I'm okay. That's for a different
Go ahead,
time.
Jasmine.
Okay. That's for a different time. I referenced everything. Y'all didn't respond because I hushed you. Let me say that. Anyway, it's all about the respect. It's like, at the end of the day, it's all about the respect. And you can tell when a person is hurt. I'm just keeping it real. I'm poking the bear. Hello, bear, rah. You can tell when a person is hurt.
Hey, that's not Christian. Like, my mama don't do that. Christians don't do that, cuz.
You can tell when a person is insecure.
All right, you can tell when the devil is using a Christian.
You can tell. And it shows, sweetheart. And I really wish that you will heal and get Jesus in your heart.
If you the model of Jesus, that's why I rock with him. That's why I rock with him, because of false prophets like you.
Let's keep
you're not a saint, my nigga. You're not a saint.
Let's cut this out, y'all. Real talk, man.
She poking at me, Slime. I ain't doing nothing to nobody.
I didn't call.
This is your Christian buddy poking at me.
I didn't call no names. I'm saying let's keep it.
But I'm saying, Clint, I'm listening. You ain't got to make don't make your intro about me and you claim to be a God saint. This is why I don't rock with people at church, man, because y'all backbiters. I ain't poking at you one time. I ain't made no video about you, never responded or nothing. You keep poking at me. That's the devil in you. I don't do that.
Yeah. Okay. 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 You feel better? Let's go.
No, I'm just saying, cuz, just make your point. You ain't gotta be poking at me. I not brought your name up one time, ever.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, keep it real.
Clint, we can go.
Yeah, we who's that? Okay.
Come here, baby.
But listen, man, this is my thing is, again, I'm not saying who's at fault, who's not. Maybe people are gonna say, Clint, man, that's your problem, Doc. But man, when I do this platform, regardless of who's saying who's getting personal, who ain't, I'm bringing y'all on because I want y'all's brand to be out there. I want y'all's mindset. This back and forth, man, it's been going on for 3 weeks, y'all. So I don't even know. Like this is my thing, man. Clint Speaks, that's my brand. I want everybody to respect it. Everybody. I just that's my thing. I want everybody to respect it. And again, I'm gonna get the text messages, I'm gonna get the inboxes. Man, get control of your show. And it's like, man, I'm trying to let everybody be adults. Everybody. Here's the thing. We talk about Black history. Let's keep it on that. I don't want to talk about nobody's personal brand. I don't want to talk about none of that. Let's talk about Black history. If we're not going to talk about Black history, let's end it, or we're good. But at least
we're talking about Black history until people start acting like niggas. I don't have a problem with it, G.
But
I don't have a problem with it.
I understand.
But don't poke at me.
It's gonna
see,
be
that's
like
what I'm
this.
saying. Yo, I said till people start acting like niggas.
I was speaking. I'm saying I don't appreciate nobody going at nobody on here.
Well, don't poke at me.
I don't like it. So here's the thing, y'all. Do y'all want to continue, or we need to get off right now?
No, this is just real life. We're just saying how Civil War is built, and this is what I mean by Black Wall Street. They work together as a unit. I don't look at Black people and try to cherry pick or find something wrong with them. I look at my people to be like, how can I help and see what's wrong with them? But if you poking at, I'm the one with the plan. Don't poke at me. I'm saying, hey man, let's try this. I'm always coming up with solution. You can go down my timeline. I have nothing but solution. I'm here to help. But if you poke at me, I'm a real general. So I'm not ever going to back down and be like, yo, just because it's a girl or just because it's a bigger dude, it's never going to happen. I want to stick to let's talk about business. Let's work and support each other. I have no problem. I still support anybody's brand if it's viable, if it's clear, if I can use it or my mama can use it, or if it's doable for my kids. I'm going to support, or we can do something together, but you can't lie on me and I'm not going to be silenced. That's it. Or you can just delete me. It's cool. I'm cool with whatever, but that's it. Don't poke at me. That's it.
The second option, please, Clint, delete.
That's Mike.
You see what I'm saying?
Mike, Robert.
That's cool.
I can't hear y'all.
Well, I just want to say a part of any big business venture and any unification is the melting of the minds. And you have to get your differences out the way before you can go forward with building. And most people don't understand it. They think that just because, you see a happy face at the counter, that it was always that way. There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes and a lot of frustrations that goes behind the scenes about how to actually bring something to fruition. Like, for instance, most people will tell you that I practice on my family members and my church members as a construction person. And some of them, like maybe 2 or 3% of them, are still angry at me because when I actually was in the practice mode, learning what I needed to learn, they created that environment for me. They supported me, and I messed up. And so I'm forever, I have an endearment to them because it's like, you know what? Oh, hey, Rob, I saw you did this again and you made it work. And I remember when you did mine and you sucked. And so we've got to create that space for people to suck. because at some point you suck. And then at some point you get better than suck. And then some point you're professional. And as a professional now who's building commercial buildings, at some point I sucked. And I want young people to know that you fail, that people look at you like you crazy. But you got to go through that crazy formula in order to get to the non-crazy formula, in order to get to professional formula. And I'm thinking everybody on this panel can say that. And as that part, a lot of people will go to a restaurant that's black and they'll say, oh, I'm not going there because it took them 45 minutes to get my food. They're new.
Yeah.
Give them another chance. Or I did this and that's what we have to get. We have to we got to go from the kindergartens of business to the middle schools of business, to the high schools, to the college, to actually doing the business. And a lot of people, when you just stop because you have those first failures, I want to encourage you to keep going, because what you're hearing between us is that we're all at certain levels and we've had those failures. And when we get past those failures, we have thoughts on what those failures mean to us, and we express it openly, and that's okay. And I don't hold that against anybody. So I love everybody on this panel. And so I just want that to be known. Clint, I love you. Mike, I love you. Dale, I love you. Jack,
man.
we just met. Much love to you. And I like how your husband interacts with you. And so that's kind of what I want to say, that there's this level of perfecting that you have to get through. It don't come overnight. And I've been doing this now for going on 16 years. And I just got to the point last year where I broke through the ceiling, just last year. It took me 15 years in this industry. And the nights up, the sleep lost, and construction, it ain't no joke. Because if you pour cement wrong and the inspector come in from the city and say it's not right, guess what? You got to take 6 inches of cement up for a whole driveway. They don't care. They're not saying, oh, it's Robert, he knew. They're not saying that. And so now that I'm able to get past that, I just got an approval this morning. These little green stickers, it's so funny how we were in kindergarten, we got the smiley faces. In construction, it's a green sticker to say approved. Boy, you have no idea how much work it takes to get that green sticker, especially if you're a brother. In an industry where there are no other brothers. In Michigan, there's only 3 other developers who are black. In Tennessee, is only 7. That's in the whole state.
Wow.
And most of them are active. They're just active on paper. And so, it's real talk. And so when you hear spirited voices, I hope that we don't take it personal, because we've got to understand where each person is in their walk, and then respect that walk, and then encourage them to do things like, hey, this is my experience. I like what you said, Jasmine. You say, hey, this is my experience. And then Dale, you can say, this is your experience. And Mike, you can say, this is your experience. And then we can learn from each other's experiences. And that's where, see, most people don't know, it's not just because we unify, because unity doesn't mean conformity. I don't have to be like none of y'all to be Rob Johnson. But I can be who I am, and that piece will become powerful. So that's what I wanted to say.
Love it, man. Love it. Mike Love, you've been sitting in the background, man. Talk to me, man. I can't hear you. You on mute, man. Meanwhile, hey, pretty girl.
You on mute, Mike.
Yeah. Hey, there we go. I was going to say, Jasmine, Dale, one of y'all talk to me before we go.
All right, listen. Can you hear me, G?
Yeah.
I bet. I remember this. And
Can y'all hear me?
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Dale.
I wrote this down, it came to me. We unwillingly but willingly practice civil war. And a lot of times subconsciously, we don't even know that we practice in civil war. I was just looking for a program, right? And I saw Tony versus mint condition versus. I remember this guy, brother Ben Next, which I helped him out, and I have no problem. He's still my brother. I don't believe in civil war, but we had a conversation like this, and told he said, "Man, call my phone, and I'm doing. I want to ask me any question you want, just like this. Ask me any question you want, whatever." So I called and asked him, and we had a it wasn't a back and forth for me. It was more so me explaining, like, hey, this is how entrepreneurship works. He recorded the whole video and wrote Brother BNX versus clothes designer. The first thing my partner said was, why he put verses up there? This is the thing. I don't have no problem with nobody on the panel, right? But I'm not going to sit up here and let you insult me as a man. I'm not going to sit up here and let you lie or anything like that. We can always work together. But when it get to when people start saying stuff like, well, your personality, or this is the reason why I did support Southern Hands, because I didn't like the way she said, here's your chicken. You know what I'm saying? When people do it at All Star Hot Wings or McDonald's all the time, we give them 1,000 chances to get it right, but we won't support Southern Hands or Coleman in there. I don't make my brand. Hold on, somebody phone loud. Hey, mute your mic, Mike, or somebody. It's loud as ever. Yeah. So I don't make my brand for black people. I make my brand for people. Yeah. I'm just leading by example. You know what I'm saying? I'm leading by example for black people. But nobody makes a product just for black people. Nobody. That's why I be like, people don't know what they're talking about. When women make products for women, that's okay. Men make product for people. That's why when you go on the site, Coleman and Neil, you got Asian people models. You got all kind of people reaching out to me. All kind of people that I do business with. So I don't have a problem with. But I only have problem with my people. I never have a problem with the Arab community or real bosses. Never. I met the owner of all the auto zones and all of the city girls. Didn't even wear a watch. Didn't even have a watch on. Sit there and talk to me for about 45 minutes about business before I even start Coleman and Neil, and was just telling me and just putting batteries in my back. Like, I really like the way you think. If you keep thinking like this, you're going to be rich. And I don't care. I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it for the legacy. At the end of the day, my goal is to make sure that Jasmine's daughter has an option to be like, hey, I want to do a couture line. Coleman and Neil already got the blueprint. Hey, I want to be an actor. Coleman and Neil got the blueprint. Like, Mike won't be like, yo, one day put me on Movie Go, and the first day he put me on Movie Go, I got a gig. Like, a nigga won't be like, a nigga be like, well, one day you could have said it like this, but we sit at mama, we on Clint page, bro. I don't talk like this when I'm in the office with the mayor, but if I have to, I will. My demeanor, I'm never gonna change as far as in like me getting something done. But we don't have these conversations. I don't have to yell at Lamadis or Leonard. We have civil conversations about business. We joke, we laugh more than anything. It's just on these platforms when we talk about what black people need to do. Everybody got solutions, but we never work together. See, all this don't mean nothing to me. But when we start working together and we're on the same picture together and we're doing something, that's when it counts. When my son can see me, Jasmine, and Clinton on the same picture, and or Mike and all of us on the same picture, then that's what it matters. You got 12 different people doing 12 different movie industries in Memphis or what. It's stupid. We need to have one Paramount, one YouTube, one Movie Go. Let's get that one first. Let's get one first. Let's get that one straight first. And then we branch off and do other things and have other motherships. But until we get one, we're divided and it's never going to work. Ask your uncle, ask your grandma. They've been saying the same thing before I was born. We don't understand. We unwillingly but willingly practice civil war. Don't even know that we're doing it. I don't have no problem with nobody on here. I still will help everybody on this page, and I have done it. I've never been nothing but a bridge at the end of the day. I've never downing nobody black, nobody, period. I've never did that in life. There's nothing ever.
Real quick?
Go ahead.
I think you were off when I was expressing that my father, my great-grandfather, my grandfather, my great-great-grandfather I've been in a generation. I've had a situation where in my Christian community and the community at large in the Adventist Church, where we've worked together as black men, and so I'm very familiar with having the ability to work with people who um, are successful, and I've had the ability to work around black men who were successful. Meaning, I can name probably like 200 black men off the grip who were in my life who processed in me, and I owe them because I am the legacy of their work, but also to pass that legacy down. And I like to be honest and realize that I'm not even close of the man that, for instance, my dad or my granddad are. And so I just want to say that when you say that when people haven't worked together at that level, I've been in situations where individuals work at that level.
But you're talking about you. I'm talking about on a public platform where my son knows you. He knows the people on YouTube. He don't know you. He don't know us working together, bruh. You keep
So
talking about
the
you.
knowledge. So and
Can
that's
y'all
why I
hear
was
me?
inviting people to the $50,000 person camp out in Gillette, Wyoming. Especially if you are a business person like Coleman and Neal is a great place for them to sell their product. A lot of the people who I put onto that, they've sold products.
Is it your event? Is this your event?
It's not my event by myself. It's a unified event.
How many people? Let's talk business. How many people?
50,000.
Hold on. Hey, mute your phone right quick, Mike. Now watch this. I'm finna close. This is when you know who's who.
Hold on, Rob,
How many
Robert,
people?
What was you saying?
I want to know about. I want to know about this. No. I want to know about this because I invited you to the 901 Union.
What I'm trying to do is get everybody a chance to speak. What was you saying, Robert? Robert.
So you had a
Hey,
question.
Mike, your background loud. Mute your phone, Mike.
Give
We
me a
can't hear him.
second, bro. Give me a second.
What was you saying, Robert?
No, Adele was asking a question. I wanted to hear what his question was.
Okay.
I want to know who's the founder of this event. How many people are involved in it? Are you a founder of this event?
I'm one of the original people who were involved in the foundation of the event, but I'm not the founder of the event. No.
How many people work as a whole, as far as in like this event? You do this every year annually, right?
We do it every 5 years.
Oh,
so we do it every 5 years international. So wait, we do it every 5 years internationally. So people are coming from around the world to this camp out. But we do it locally every year. In the local areas, there's about 5,000 to 15,000 people in the local area. And then every 2 years we do regional, and that's about 15,000 to 20,000 people. But it's every year. And some people have come away with, I mean, you can make your salary in as low as 4 days. I've had people who I've invited to some of the events. They've made $30,000 to $40,000 in over a weekend just selling paraphernalia. That's in line with the event. So, for instance, this year is called Believe the Promise. It's Moses. It's Moses. The story is about Moses. So, for instance, if it were Coleman and Neal, you'd say Coleman and Neal believe the promise. And then people will buy a lot because that's the name of the program that everybody's involved with the children. And we're teaching the children how to believe in a promise. And we're teaching them what promises are. And so we've got 50,000+ children who will be there. And when we go to these cities, we're in Gillette, Wyoming. When we go to these cities, we usually make that city around 150 to 200 million from being.
Hold on. You're talking a lot of numbers. Let me ask you, I'm asking as a consumer, as an idiot, as a person who don't know nothing.
Sure
so thing. What is this? What is this event? Is this a circus? Is this a expo? What is it? In one word, what is it?
I'm sorry. You're asking.
In one word, what kind of event this is? Is it an expo? Is it a circus? Is it a mall? What, in one word, I'm a consumer. I don't know what you're talking about. What kind of event this is?
Well, usually in a consumer situation, I would give an elevator pitch, and so you can't give an elevator pitch.
No. Is it a TV? Is it a radio? What kind of event this is? What is it? Is it an expo? What is it? Because I don't know what promise is.
Interested to inbox him.
Yeah, if you're interested in.
No, he didn't. No. This is. I'm asking a question. So if I can't explain Coleman and Neal in 30 seconds, I can't buy the product. What's called in there? Clothes. I'm asking you, saying 100,000 people show up
It's
and participate.
so
That's very
I
big.
understand why you're asking the
Robert, go ahead and
question
explain
because
it, man.
your infrastructure is based on capitalism. As a zero-naire, that's not what
No,
my
it's not. I'm
infrastructure.
trying to understand what kind of event it is,
Okay,
bro.
so
Just tell
then
me what it is.
I can tell you what it is, but I'm not going to say it in one word because it's not one word. It's more complex than one word.
Okay, well, I'm not buying it.
Okay, that's cool.
Man,
But just know I wasn't trying to sell it to you. I was trying to give you an opportunity to sell
No,
air.
people are listening. If we don't understand what you said, you're just saying a lot of numbers, bro. I don't know what I'm saying. You said 50,000 people show up. I'm saying if I ain't never heard of this event.
Right. So I think that that's what we're talking about when we talk about having continuity amongst people of color. So the important thing is that when you have an opportunity to make 30 or 40,000 in 3 days, you would inbox me, like I said, and find out. So I appreciate those people who are inboxing me already because I've gotten them. And that's what's important, to create the opportunity for people who want the opportunity. And sometimes when people have a dissidence in how they communicate with others, you let that settle with them. So I'm not angry at him, and I don't have to sell to him, and I'm not discouraged because he doesn't want to buy my product, because my product is not predicated on whether he buys it or not. And that's what's so great about business. When you give a good product, the product is usually based on moral character. So for instance, the youth that I work with, they've made a couple $100,000 because they've come to my camps and we've taught them how to run their own lawn services, for instance, their own window washing business, for instance. And why is this important? That now they're going to share with other youth around the world, whether black, white, Puerto Rican, or Haitian, red and yellow, black and white, all oppressions in his sight. They're going there to show others how they believed in the promise. And that's why it's every 5 years, because they go back and report from their 8th grade year to their 12th grade year. And the thought is, how can they share with others? And so if you inbox me, you can learn more about it, because a lot of people have made their salaries that they can make in a year in a week's time. So I encourage you to inbox me.
Hey, Clint,
yeah.
Rob told me we talking business. He said when we got off the phone, he said, "All right, Mike, I need you to be open-minded when you go in this. Don't go in it closed-minded." And I respected it because sometimes we can let our own feelings about something get in the way of
Yeah.
actually gaining success. And because I went in open-minded, to just learn and receive all of the information as it was put out, it done made me better. You know what I'm saying? And it's growing. And I see it. And it ain't fast, but you see the slow progress.
That's it.
You see what I'm talking about? At the end of the day, man, you gonna have people like the brother Delwan. Not that he a bad guy, he just stuck in his ways. And that's cool. He made the statement that I never said. He put me on the website and I got a job. Not only did I get an acting gig, but from that acting gig, I got another acting gig. From that acting gig, I got another acting gig. All the way to the point to where people call me to be in their stuff. I don't even audition no more. But I was already working before he put me on Movie Go. You see what I'm talking about?
Right.
I'm going to always give people their flowers. I ain't never going to deny nothing. And I ain't got time to lie on nobody. I just wish that that brother see that he got to give the same respect that he want. He only want to receive it. He don't never want to give it. And of course, he not going to get in Dame Dash face and scream and yell. Of course, he not going to get in what the other white guy that own this or that and get in their face and yell. And of course, he not gonna go to Dame Dash and get on the live with him with his shirt off, laying in the bed, because that's professionalism. Now, why wouldn't he give us the same professionalism? That's all I'm saying. We have to give respect. Even if I disagree with everything he say, I still respect him. I ain't gonna disrespect you until you disrespect me. I didn't even call him a lie. You call a grown man a lie, you know, you asking for it. That's all I'm saying, man. We gotta stop. So how do we work? How do we work together? We don't. Sometimes some people, maybe it ain't good to work with their Coleman. Maybe it's probably good to work with Neil. It's always good to work with the person that don't talk a lot. That's all I'm saying. So it is what it is.
Yeah, is you know, man, it's one of them things, man. And I'm looking at everybody's face, but I'm listening to what's going on, and it's like, man, what? Oh, man, Jasmine,
Yes.
been quiet, man. I was honestly. Let me say this before I go any further. I want to hear from you, Jasmine, but I was honestly just trying to hear what Robert was saying, because you know what I want us to do, man, is actually just give each other the respect to where as we talking, let each other talk, man. So I wasn't trying to kick nobody off, but I was honestly just trying to hear. So y'all, I don't know. I just hate stuff like this, man. It's like, man, listen, Jasmine, I've been knowing you for years now. Mike, Robert, I met y'all last year. Been knowing Dale Warren for a few years, man. And everybody that knows me, man, listen, I don't ask for nothing as far as money, anything like that. I get my joy out of putting everybody else out there. And somebody may feel like, well, man, look, I'm already out there. But my thing is, if you're on my platform, if I invite you on, if I agree for you to come on and show your face, I want you to put yourself out there. So let me say it like this, y'all. Mike, I don't know if y'all remember, I said last week or week before last, there was a person that I mentioned on the platform. I shouted their business out, and they literally had to turn people away and put them on a waiting list. Jasmine spoke life to me last week. It was like, Clint, I just want to let you know, me and my husband saw some things we've been praying for, and it finally came. Keep doing what you're doing. Mike, when because Nikki and Liddell are still a part of me, but I said that to say this, Mike, when Nikki and Liddell was on here, Mike was like, man, I got that third spot, man, that fourth spot. Mike loved the show, man. Robert Johnson loved it. I just can't talk about the other person because they're not on. I'm learning not to say no names that they ain't on here because I just don't want to go through that again. I just wish that us would be able to say, hey, man, I want to do business with you. Hey, I can't do business with you. Why? Constructive criticism. I'm sorry, constructive feedback. This is why. I'll look into that. Respect. We got to have that, man. I don't care if you got a business or not. It really don't matter. Again, my children are my Facebook friends. My mama is my Facebook friend. Don't nobody want to hear a lot of that. And I ain't mentioning no names on the platform. I'm saying in the future, don't nobody want to hear black folk going at it like that. Don't nobody want to hear that. So here's my thing, y'all. If you want to grow, some things you're going to have to hear. If you want to grow, if you really want to grow. Now, if you're at the point to where business is booming, I don't need to hear from you. More power to you. But on this platform, I've always wanted respect because I give respect. And I hope I don't sound like I'm just babbling, y'all, but this is Clint Speaks, man, and it's happening here. So the only problem I've ever had with anybody is when they disrespect it. So if I'm saying, hey, y'all, let's let him talk, let her talk, just do it. And, just But anyway, Jasmine, what's going on, Jasmine?
I'll just say, first, I'll just say everything is necessary. I'm a firm believer in that. So all of this stuff that has transpired with, don't worry about it. All of this stuff that has transpired with the back and forth, or the disagreements, I feel like it's all necessary, like for a come up for you, with your platform. Like it has to happen to see how you handle this for what is on the way. I don't have any disrespect for anyone on this platform either. Even when things have been said, I have never downplayed anyone. Like you said, I'm not going to mention any names, but that's just not me. And I feel like once we came together in that inbox and we were a family, I'm loyal. So my loyalty won't even allow me. Like today is the first day where I'm like, yeah, and now I feel bad. I can't even share it to my page because I'm acting out of character. But like one of them spoke, I think it was Mike that said your emotions. Like it's just so much a person can take. Like it was no integrity on this live. I came on the live before we came on live and told how I just lost somebody real close to me, and he just went in on me. Like it's no integrity, it's no respect. Like a person doesn't know where your headspace is. So I had to piggyback with Mike, just be respectful and kind. Like it goes a long way. That's all.
I was told, one person could be lying on you. I even give you the benefit of the doubt, 2 people. But everybody ain't lying on you. Everybody ain't sitting here lying on you and saying it's you and it's not you. Now it's 4 of us and we taking turns talking. Ain't nobody cutting nobody off. I mean, everybody make their money. Everybody on this panel make money, make good money. You, Clint, you talk about how you and De'Ara paid y'all bills off and how y'all sitting fine. And Jasmine, you travel the world and you make jewelry, and how you and your husband was down and then y'all came up. And Rob, I know, from the downfall to the upcoming to getting the green card, and you as well as me. We all just striving to be the best, no matter how you get it. And the end result is financial wealth for the family, the people that you leave behind. Because that's all I want. I want somebody to be saying one day, well, how you get rich to somebody that's kin to me and be like, well, my great-great-great-granddad, Mike Love, he put in the work. And here we are, and we still living with what he worked hard. But man, it ain't no need for disrespect. Right?
Yeah, that's the thing. See, we everybody on here, whether we say it verbally or not, we are trying to. The word of God says a wise man leaves an inheritance to his children's children.
Yes.
Right.
And when I see Rob, when I see Mike, when I see Jasmine, and somebody would say, well, she's not a man. Well, you don't understand, her husband is right there. He's right there. And blended family and all, they want to create a legacy. I want to create a legacy. Man, I got 4 grandchildren. 4. I have 4 children, 3 grown, 3 adult children, and I got Prince. Our goal is not just us. Our goal is not just about right now. Man, Black history can be made today. That's all I'm saying. So if I've received it as far as constructive feedback, I've received people saying, hey man, you need to get control of your show. And it's like I've heard that since me, Nikki, and Ladell. And it's like I just got this thing, y'all, to where I like y'all remember the Chicago Bulls when they were winning? I'm talking about back-to-back championships. Phil Jackson could see chaos on the court, and I couldn't understand it. And he was like, let them work it out. And I don't know if everybody sees that. I'm not saying nobody's wrong, but I'm saying sometimes we have to hear, hey, Clint, might want to, and sometimes it's like, hey, y'all, if y'all don't mind, let them work it out. Let them work it out. And sometimes, and I want people to understand this. I want my brand. And let me say, y'all, I appreciate y'all speaking life to my brand. Whenever y'all do it, I appreciate it. To see the excitement and saying, listen, we may not agree. We may not even want to work with such and such or sister such and such, brother such and such, but we ain't leaving you, Clint. Y'all don't know how that makes me feel. But I want everybody to understand there's no excuse. It is not me trying to make an excuse. Sometimes, y'all, I'm growing too. This podcast thing, man, when I was little, Jasmine, y'all, when they was asking us in kindergarten, what do you want to be when you grow up? I didn't say a podcaster. I'm learning. So, y'all, I appreciate y'all's grace, but sometimes I may not move as fast as people think, but I'm just trying to let people work it out. For those who are wondering, why do you keep? I'm gonna grow. I just try to let people work things out, y'all. I do. And evidently that's not working. So I'm about to put she said she can't join. Y'all just bear with me. We'll get some things together. I'm not gonna bash nobody. I'm not saying nobody else is doing, but it has to be some control. I will take full responsibility and ownership for any time tonight, anytime in the past, because it's my baby, and I've got to do better. But I can't have people being ran off because they're saying, man, it's like this, it's like that. I'll do better. I just hate this tonight, y'all, man, because I really wanted us to show everybody, man, listen. Oh, this is what I'm trying to say, y'all, and I'm gonna let y'all have it. The reason I wanted to ask y'all, what do you want to be remembered as? And I believe some of y'all said that. If you were to ask me, I know I'm a speaker, I know I'm a podcaster, but I want to be remembered as an inventor. The reason why I want to be remembered as an inventor is because I want the little black boys and little black girls to know you don't have to be a rapper or athlete only to make it. You can have whatever you like. If Obama can make president, so can you. If I just want the little black girls and boys to know we got a brain too. It ain't all just about hooping and spitting in the microphone and wearing your pants half off your tail. I want them to know we got brains too. Listen how Jasmine conducts herself. Listen to Mike. Mike don't give himself enough credit. Listen to Robert. Everybody, when he talks, everybody's like, he's kind of spellbinding because it's like, man, the dude, all of y'all talk with this knowledge, man. That's what I want to leave. That's why if everything, I haven't come up and put one invention on the shelf, Robert. But before I leave this earth, I want to be known as an inventor. And I don't think I've ever told nobody that. I don't know if I told my own wife. I just want them to know, man, we smart too now. And if truth be told, I hope I don't take anybody off that's not black, but I mean, so be it if that's how they feel. But what we don't know, I've heard people say, man, we need to quit putting these chains around our neck. Don't you know we had chains on our neck before they start choking us and hanging us with chains? We were the royal ones. We were royal. That's why every morning I'm saying, good morning, kings and queens, not niggas and hoes. And I won't say that no more on this platform, but that's why I do it. That's the main reason why I do it. Kill the B's, kill the H's, kill the riffraff, kill all of that. Kill all of that. We are kings and queens. We're royal. We're royal. It runs through our blood. I don't care what they say about what tribe you came from. You are royalty. You're not a slave. You're royalty. You're not a B. You are royalty. You're not a H. Everybody on here, we're business owners. We don't talk thugged out when we're doing business. When Jasmine goes live, when Robert is on the live, when Mike is doing business, we talk business talk because we know how to conduct ourselves. If you're young and you're watching, we ain't hood on here. We ain't disrespecting the hood. We ain't disrespecting where we come from, but we going somewhere. And it ain't gonna stop because of some riffraff on a dead-gum park. We're not gonna do that. I'm looking at billionaires right now.
You know why I'm encouraged? Jasmine, you encourage me. Because you just lost your aunt.
Hey,
and you're still on the show. You know, that's deep. You know, it's funny because you're taking me back to the day that I lost my uncle, and I was distraught, but his mom, my grandmother, I said, Big Mom, why weren't you crying a lot today? And you know what she said to me? She said, your uncle made earth his heaven and not heaven his heaven.
Wow.
And so because he made earth his heaven, I'm happy for him. And that's why he passed away before me. And so for you to now come on today and pay homage to your aunt in a whole different way, you know, it speaks a lot about your character and the strength that you have and the loyalty that you have. And that's real powerful. On the other note, you know, I had the privilege in being in Detroit. We have a high Chaldean community. They call us Baba. That's one of the names that they call the men in their community. And they just start calling me Baba. Maybe the children in the community started calling me Baba maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago. Well, finally, I got invited to a meeting with all of the Babas. And Chaldean guys, they're very different. They don't let their women speak. So, Jasmine, if this was a Chaldean podcast, you couldn't say nothing. It's
Wow.
crazy, right? And so we got on, I got in with them, and I'm like, can you guys explain to me why you don't let women say anything? And it got quiet. And so it's like, they looked at me like, we can't believe we let you in this area, but now that you're in it. And so they explained it to me. Then we got to some business. And guess what their business sounded like behind closed doors? Just what we experienced today. There's an element of all of us in their community. It's just that they're afraid to show it out front, because what they do is they go behind closed doors and they show it. But for us, we don't have that amenity a lot of times because we don't have the community and commitment to it. And so you've got to work out your differences in some level, in some area, and they come. And so I want to encourage the youth who are seeing us that we're here and everything is calm and everything has come back to a position that it needed to come back to. But you will have hurricanes. And here's the thing. You learned that if the Ninth Ward in New Orleans had left what they call a riparian system, it's a system of natural environment that's there to ward against hurricanes. That when the hurricane hit New Orleans wouldn't have had the hurricane tragedy that they had if they left those things in place. I'm here to say that in the African community, American community, our riparian system is not in place. That's the show called Clint Speaks. Kids need to know that it's okay to be a hurricane in the liquor store or in the china closet. It's somebody to clean it up. And then next time, hopefully it's not a liquor store. It's not a hurricane, it's a tornado. And next time it's just a small storm. And then there's conformity. And when I say conformity, I don't mean that we have to conform to each other. We have to have a level of interaction so that we can understand what each other's saying so that we can learn. Like, for instance, and I want to say Delquan's name, he could have taught us something that we did not know, but because of the way he was presenting it, we didn't have a chance to learn. And so I just want to tell the kids out there, you matter. What you're thinking matters. But you've got to be able to put it in a way that other people can listen and they can learn from you. And that's why it becomes important for us to come to a level of, okay, I don't know everything about clothes. Delwan has a clothing store. I'm a builder. Let me be quiet and let me listen to him. Matter of fact, let me get out my notepad. And so I'm humble enough to say that I can do that, because every leader knows that he has to listen in order to be effectively listen first in order to be effective going forward in that area. And so I just want to add that. And then Clint, I just want to say this about you, brother. Regardless of what other people say about your show, we know your heart. And we can feel through your questions what your heart is. And we need that type of leadership in our communities. Young men need to see that. They need to see that personified, They need to see that in action. They need to see it in real time. Because when we see it in church, everybody's like happy Sabbath or happy Sunday school or happy this. And that's fake. We need to see that stuff when it hits the fan.
Yeah.
How we handle ourselves under adversity. How we bring it back, how we bring the reins back easily. And we continue to travel on. And that piece, that takes time and grade into position. That piece, sometimes, listen, I've done many wooden floors. I'm sitting here on a wooden floor right now, like you said, I'm always at a work site. I'm sitting here on a wooden floor right now. The floor is not soaking up the stain. It's never done this before. Then when I got it right, I got defective stain. Now I got to work through this. And I'm at the client's house. The client trusts me enough with all of this craziness to be on a podcast. You see?
Mhm.
And so what she's saying to me, I had to go on mute. She said, is this going to be okay? Yes. And guess what? They went back upstairs. I'm talking in their living room right now, right next to their fireplace. You get what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's the piece. And nothing is kind of that perfect thing like we want. I don't like to be at my studio at my house. I'm not. I like for my Jasmine, I like for my little daughter to become jumping in my lap right now. You feeling me? But I'm not. She has to go to bed today without me. But this show means something bigger because for us to have cross-country communication and to have this level of interaction with each other, it means a lot. And Mike, boy, you don't even know, Mike, how you got people riled up here in Detroit with your acting.
Wow.
Just because of your interaction with them. When you came and used the compound, now everybody else said, oh, Mike Love was here. Yeah, because I told them Mike Love was coming. You know what? They trust my name, and now they trust your name. And now it's like Mike Love is established in Detroit. You feeling me? And so that piece is so awesome, man. And then the fact that we're about to break ground, brother. I can't wait to be able to tell everybody what we got coming. And Jasmine, I got your backdoor request, and I make sure we feel that we can talk tomorrow before lunch. Let's just hit each other. I look forward to working with you and your husband.
Okay, thank you.
But here's the thing, guys. When I understand how your business works, I'm not trying to take your business. I'm trying to understand that when I'm sitting next to somebody who's looking for a Coleman and O'Neill or a soap company or actor or Clint Speaks, that I know how to plug you.
Yeah.
Because that's what people trust me for. Listen, when Mike called me, he can tell you I was still on the roof. Right, Mike?
Yeah. You was?
When he drove
Told
up to
me
the
come
church, we were remodeling the church. I was on the roof with my team. We shut down and showed Mike where he needed to go. You see? And so that's real talk. And so, you know, I wish I could say that I'm this perfect general contractor. I'm just getting to that. And I wish I could say that in Detroit there's perfect workers. They're not. We're a blue collar city, and my workers are blue collar people, and they know it. And I discuss it with them every day, how not to be blue collar, how to think as a business person. But they still want to come work for me instead of having their own window company. I'm trying to teach people how to have their window company and their cement company now, so I don't have to do it. So when I get a contract, I can just say, go do this. But those things have to come, and we have to teach it. And our children and their children have to see this, just like the Jewish children have to see their people doing what they do. And this is ongoing. So I just wanted to make sure I plug that because I'm excited about the show. And I'm excited about the loyalty of you guys. And Jasmine, I'm overhandedly impressed about you and being on here. And, you know, before we go, I want to pray with you just to, you know, lead that spirit before we go. So, you know, Clint, if it's okay before we go.
Man, you know, I told you free, man. You free. That's me and my wife talk. Let me say this, Mike. I know you finna say something. I want to hear from Jasmine before Robert prays. Me and my wife talk a lot, man. We here all day together. I look like I just saw Terica, man. I saw her at Kroger one day, man, recently, man. So thank y'all for tuning in. But when she saw me, I'm just running up there real quick, y'all, and coming right back to the house. But we here all day, so we talk all day. And one thing we talk about is just ways to, because I trust her, ways to do things better, man. The things I could have corrected on the show, how to move the show forward. I really think, y'all, Mike, you may be the only one, and respectful, I know you don't mind me saying this, you're single,
Nah.
but you've been married before. And I know that all of us know that in a relationship, especially marriage, you're supposed to be pushing each other forward and elevating each other higher. So sometimes she says things I don't at the time may not want to hear, but it's a part of me that said, keep bringing it, baby. Regardless, as if I'm just sitting there like, "Urgh," keep bringing it, because I need to know where I'm failing. I need to know how to progress. Because see, listen, my goal is to get on stages again. My goal is for this podcast to employ people. I don't want it to. I love Ricky Smiley show whenever I can see it. That's rare. The Steve Harvey morning show, but I'm telling y'all, Clint Speaks is coming, man, and I want to employ people. So I'm learning right now. I'm 2 years in, so I'm still learning. I ain't making no excuses, but it's go. Hey, I'm. This show is gonna, especially with y'all speaking life into me, man. It's just Jasmine. 2 weeks in a row, man, have done it, and to say something like, Clint, hey, sometimes your show may need a little opposition. That's okay. It's a growing pain. Man, you don't know what they did for me, Jazz. Robert, I know how you feel about my show. Mike Love, the first time the man called me, Jasmine, y'all. I'm talking about, this is the first thing out of his mouth, the very first phone call. I still remember, Mike. He said, man, your show is going to boom. And I'm like, man, I know that voice, man. There's got to be that dude I talked to on that other live. I want to call no names, but man, I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate it. Mike, let me hear
Man,
from you,
let me.
man.
I'm teaching school. We was on your live. I'm talking about kids, and the principal contact me, and so now I teach school. I teach kindergarten through fifth grade. I got that off your live. You know what I'm saying?
You hear that, Jazz?
So,
Robert, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
man, look,
Wow.
y'all, I don't brag a lot because of how I came up. I don't talk a lot of my business. But as I sat here when you said that and I thought about it, I retired from FedEx.
Wow.
I'm fully vested in the railroad. I work for a great company now, Smith and Nephew. I teach school. I got my little car dealership. You know what I'm saying? And I was just, I said something so quick. We had a little meeting at the Board of Education. They was trying to close my charter school, but they reopened it. They extended it for another 10 years. And we had one person to vote against us. And I said, I should run for the council. And the guy came to me, he said, if you serious, I'll fund your campaign.
Wow.
That's what he said to me. And then I'm checking right what I need to do. So they said I need to live in the community. And I had already been looking at this duplex. I said, well, I've been thinking about buying that anyway. I want that duplex right there. He said, man, I'll help you buy it because I want you to run.
Wow.
You know what I'm talking about? So I wouldn't be in this spot if I wasn't on your show, bro.
Man, I praise
You
God.
know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.
Because
Yes.
it started with you. She saw me, and then she contacted me, and then here I go.
Wow.
And that's how it worked. So they can't tell me God ain't real.
Man, come on, Doc.
You know what I'm talking about? They can't tell me it ain't a God.
Come on, man.
I came from nothing. I ain't had no mom and daddy.
Mm.
You know, I ain't had nobody to tell me it's gonna be all right. I had to figure it out for myself, and I had to set myself around positive people that meant me good. That's it. And
Wow.
I ain't bragging. I'm just stating the facts. And
It
so
sound like
to you, Jasmine, I seen your husband, because you know you spicy. But then I seen your husband, and I saw the level. You know what I'm saying? Because he stated facts, and he was dead serious on the kid thing. And I was like, yeah, she grounded. So
Mm.
I'm with that.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, dog. Jasmine, you're sitting so patient, man. Listen, listen. Michelle Nolan said condolences to you, and Robert said, man, he take his hat off to you because honestly, I'm watching you close tonight, and you know when I say that is respectful because her and her husband are family to me and De'Ara, because of what you just gone through. So I commend you. I take my hat off to you. But what's on your mind before we close? Before we close up, before Robert pray for you.
I just think it's amazing how we turned this whole thing positive. And I'm glad that Mike spoke about all of his accomplishments because I literally was going to say people that are really making accomplishments and, you know, they're really, really growing in life. It's not something that is thrown out there like that. Like I told De'Ara, like when y'all were speaking about leaving inheritance and what's the other word? Legacy for the children. I'm a living witness of that. Like I just received my inheritance from my father. So like people always like to brag about what they have and I say brag because Mike said he's not trying to brag, but when you're sitting at the right table, people don't hear it as bragging. We hear it as, okay, my brother winning. Okay, so if he wins, I know it's in the same neighborhood with me. That makes me feel good that people are coming to fund you. Man, bro, I've been praying about this all year. Okay.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, so like ever since I've been watching your lives, like even when you were talking about planting the seed, I took that so like you sent me in my heavenly language. Like I'm not even spiritual right now, but like I was in our basement and I really, really was feeling like God was moving through you like on that. From that, I got my inheritance from my father, which is what I had been fighting for. Then from that, we got into the 2 stores in Tennessee. Like people, everybody out here doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? We just ain't gotta be talking about it all the time. Then from me even still living from that, we're about to be the only vendor in Dillard's.
Wow.
That's huge. So that small opening and Creed Cologne is hosting this event that we have been invited to.
Man, come on.
So even that small door, ain't no telling, like my pastor said Sunday, don't disregard the small stuff. Because God used the small stuff to make it a magnitude. You know, so I'm just grateful for you, like, because I know you and I know how your emotion feels because I've been knowing you. So I know you probably sitting back like, man, should I have done this? Should I? Like, I can hear you like wrestling with yourself. But as you see, you got so many people like coming through telling you all of the greatness that has come to them from God, from you allowing your oil to flow.
Wow.
Even you allowing your oil to flow. Me and my husband are now in ministerial classes. We're about to be ordained ministers in January.
Come on, man.
We went through these courses. That's why, yeah, Mike is like, you spicy, but Mike, you don't even understand, man. I really am piped all the way down because how I used to be like, even me sitting here so quiet tonight, I'm just like, because now I feel like I'm a glass house and I can't. Even like Del One is saying, when you say you are a follower, you do have to start walking in that light. So me not being a true Christ-like Christian, I'm really working on it. So that's why I'm sitting here like my hands been like this the whole night underneath the table, like, and I just have to smile. Because see, I'm still working on me. And that's not me trying to say I'm a perfect person. That's not me trying to say God knows my heart. That's me trying to get me together. But me coming on here tonight, even after getting the tragic news, they had to send me home, y'all. Like, that's what I'm saying. People don't know your headspace. I was hollering at work. So my husband had to come pick me up, you know, and so not one time did I say, I ain't gonna do the live tonight. Like, I look forward I look forward to it because I love y'all.
Wow.
Like, you know, so I'm like, man, I look forward to getting on there. That'll get my mind off some stuff, you know. So people just don't know the headspace that a person is in. Man, and when you've experienced so many deaths, when one death happens, it kind of takes you back a little bit, you know. So, man, look,
Wow.
you're great, Clint. I pray nothing but prosperity over you and dear. You know, I'm gonna forever speak like I pray prosperity over Rob. I
Come on.
pray that your business
Come on.
even grows.
Come
like I'm looking at your Zeronaire. You're going to be a billionaire because the same mindset that you have, I mean, the same mindset that Clint has, the calmness about him, the meekness about him, you have that same thing, and it takes that.
Yep.
And in you, even with you sitting there, you could be working right now. Like you said, you'd rather be at home with your daughter. You're being obedient to
Come
the
on,
call.
man.
This is a call.
Come on, Jazz.
This is a call.
Come on.
So being obedient to the call, I have said this before, in this season, your breakthrough is going to come through your obedience. In this season, your breakthrough is going to come through your push through.
Come on, Jazz.
It's going to. So you putting your stuff out there like that, and then you're helping another company. Say, for instance, I become a billionaire before you. And then I'm like, hey, you know what? I remember Rob was on Clint Speaks. I want him to be able to I want him to quit what he doing. He can sell his stuff. You just never know who you're connecting to.
Wow.
And then Mike, I don't know if you can hear me, but like I joke with you about being this stand-up guy and how you're all for women and love. You know what? I want to apologize. Because we're so used to seeing down low men, and we're so used to seeing men that are not for women like you are, that I felt like it was a joke. Like, even when I got off, I'm like, babe, did you hear Mike over there trying to act like this perfect man? You are this perfect man because you proved it time and time again on the live. I pray that God sends you the woman of your dreams. I pray that God sends you your Proverbs 31 woman. You working it like, when we be on the live, you be at work. God is going to award you for that. He's going to reward you for your diligence. He's got you. Even your passion, how you come off, and when you're talking, I never like take it as you being aggressive. You're so passionate and you're so for real about what you're saying because you didn't get it. So you like, okay, since I didn't get that from my empty cup, I'm finna fill other people's cup. But see, what you don't understand is while you're filling everybody else, your cup is overflowing.
Come on, man. Come on.
You will never lack for anything.
I love this.
Want for anything. And God is gonna fulfill every last one of your desires, even the ones that you don't speak about.
Woo.
I try not to take it there, but see.
You free. You're free.
I try not, but I just decree all of that on y'all.
I receive it. I receive it. I appreciate it. Look, you good. I'm looking at their faces. They receive it too. What'd you say, Mike?
We love you.
Do is say in Jesus' name we pray, amen, right now.
I'm telling you. Amen.
Hey, but I still want you to do what you were gonna do, Rob, and speak
Most
over her,
definitely.
man.
Here we go with this though. And here's my next level of growth before we shut down. To be the next level of developer, more than just building 20 or 30 houses, 120, 340 houses. If you're a black underwriter, meaning you are an underwriter for a bank out there, I need to know what the key is, what you're looking for before I come to your table, because they're not telling me as a black man what I need to do to come to that table looking like I need to look. And I've had to kind of just get through the bushes and think I understand, and I don't really. And so if you're out there, black underwriter for a bank, inbox me because I need you. I need you to get to the next level. I want to be very transparent about that. And so I know that God has that underwriter out there for me. Listen, if you've listened to Clint speak, you've heard hurricanes on this show today, but there's a saying, the calm comes before the storm, but actually, after the storm goes through, it's the people who helps those recover from the storm that shows the character of the community. And those who stayed on today are those who helped this show recover from the storm. And I just want to thank you guys for showing our youth how we recover from storms. Let us pray. Dear kind and gracious Heavenly Father, you are awesome. Lord, you are the editor of everything that we do. And so in this book of life, we ask that you would begin to edit the things out of us. Lord, as we think of negative things, we ask you to take those negative thoughts from us and give us thoughts that empower us, that encourage us, that make us get up off the couch, that make us stop playing PS5 and go do something that's business or entrepreneurial based, that makes us take our pride and put it on the shelf and put on a humble coat to be able to listen. Lord, because we know that we can learn from a 3-year-old. How much more can we learn from people who are working in the industry that we're looking for? And so, Lord, there's somebody out there who has not put their pride aside. We ask that you tell them that the fall cometh because of the pride. And so put that aside so that they don't fall, and put on humbleness so that they can understand how to be strong. But not just for themselves, for those who are around them. And Lord, you're telling me right now that there are people like Jasmine out there who have lost loved ones. We ask right now that you would give them the strength and courage to be strong, but also to be able to naturally bereave and to experience the time, to be in the element of the time. Jasmine expressed that she saw a lot of people online saying how they loved her aunt. Lord, there's some people out there who have lost loved ones who no one's saying they love them, and they have to deal with that. And so we ask that you would send angels down to Jasmine and all those who have lost today. And Lord, we thank you for Jasmine and her family, because even as she's lost someone today, she's on the show here with us. We ask that you would put your arms around Clint as he continues with Clint Speaks, so that he can be the powerful man in an alpha way, but as a quiet storm. We appreciate him for that. And we look forward to you allowing Mike Love to be in another one. And Lord, bless those who are bound to our services that we have to offer them. Help how we present ourselves as we give our service to the community. Help people to take us how we want to be taken, and understand our hearts, how we want to give. And Lord, let us not force who we are on anyone, but have them partake of us. Have them chase us down, because the person who you created in us, we are that person. And because we have that power, they are chasing behind us because they see the truistic persons who we are. This is the power that I speak in us. This is the power that I speak in the individuals who will be watching or are watching. This is the power that we have to move in as a unit. We don't have to conform to each other and all be the same, but we have to be able to listen and love each other. And Lord, if we bark too loud, we ask that you would help our ears so that it will resonate the sound so that it doesn't sound loud. And Lord, if there is someone who is hurt, we ask that that hurtness would be solved through your healing, your loving power. Lord, you are awesome. We declare this information like the Thor hammer. If there are any walls that we come through, Lord, prepare us to bust through them. This is what we ask in your name, Jesus, on Clint Speaks. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. With that being said, I'm not coming behind that. So listen, for everybody that's on this panel, man, love you guys, man. I love y'all with everything in me.
Yeah,
Everything
y'all too.
in me. Y'all have a safe rest of your week. And y'all listen, do this for me. And again, I'm not coming behind Robert, but everything you heard Jasmine say, everything you heard Robert say, speaking life and praying, don't let this just stop when we hit the end stream or go off stream. Take this with you and keep speaking life over yourself, what they've said. So with that being said, y'all have a great rest of y'all night.
Much